It's a big yikes.
Hello and welcome to DCP Live, episode number 138. We have a fully stocked show tonight. Lots of details and info. We got Bungie news. Pope Bear's back on the show for some reason. Pope, why are you back, man? What's going on?
I mean, I never left. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, we thought you were like gone.
Were you ghosting the whole time?
I've been here the whole time, just been really quiet.
Wow.
I thought you were assistant manager to Patrick at Hot Topic.
That's what I thought too.
Well, I did. I was on a trainee program where Patrick was trying to get me using his, influence there. He was trying to get me a job. So I was on an influential
deal.
Call it I was calling it a trainee program, but apparently I wasn't invited to be on there. I was just showing up.
You were officially employed.
I see. You just showed up.
Yeah. So
kind of
they eventually
tonight.
Kicked me out. Yeah.
Once again, Pope just showing up.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
We also have Aztecross on the show. Hey, Aztec, how you doing?
Good. Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah. Welcome.
He was invited.
Yes, Aztec was invited.
He was invited.
Yeah, he was definitely invited. So, like I said, it's good. We got a great show tonight. Very excited about it. Excited to get into the details. I do want to say and shout out to our Patreons who make this show a possibility and a reality for us. So thank you guys for that. And also, Fran is coming from a different studio, from a future studio there.
The fancy studio.
Fancy studio. However, he's on Wi-Fi.
Animated background and everything.
Yeah. As fancy and technologically
They don't have
advanced
internet
as
in
it
the
is,
future.
he's on a Wi-Fi system, so he may be cutting in and out. We're gonna see, and if he does cut in and out, then it's gonna be an interview throwdown between Fran and Pope. We'll see.
Ooh.
Exactly.
2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
It's all right. Good to be back. Hopefully everything works. Yeah, honestly, worst case, I can record my audio on the laptop and call in from my phone, guys. Honestly,
That's true.
always an option.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, let's kick it off, man.
All right. Well, I assume you already did all the introductions because I didn't hear that part. But we have Aztecross this week. Who I needed to know, actually. I didn't know that you go by Cross. So a lot of people just call you Cross. Is that right?
Yeah. A lot of clanmates just call me Cross.
Nice. That totally cut out, by the way.
I was seeing if it registered or not.
Yeah. But let's try one more, and if I have more Wi-Fi troubles, I might have Pope step in on this one. But we were talking to Aztecross before the show, just that they call him Cross, but his Titan mains.
Ooh.
Titan modes. Am I cutting out?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Oh, I
So
liked what you were saying, though. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From what I heard.
Yeah. The
Super
emotional
Something about Titans.
Titan mains and all
Yeah,
that.
it was great. It was great. Really liked it.
Yeah.
So Pope, do you want to step in for a second, and then I'll try to
Yeah.
reconnect?
Yeah. Thank you, friend.
Joyous news, everybody. Okay.
Waiting for the click over.
Yeah, let me just do that now.
There
But he's
we
gonna
go.
come back on his phone.
He is gonna get. I'm ready. I'm ready for the click over on this.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready?
Kind of funny Wi-Fi. Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, should we wait for him to rejoin just in case? Because I think he's coming back on the phone.
We should do a show.
We should.
Yeah,
Whatever
let's go
we're
ahead
gonna
and do this show.
Might as well have a
Nick,
podcast while
cut
we're here.
all this out.
Yeah, Nick is gonna have to do some editing magic on this one.
Nick, get rid of it
Oh.
all.
Boom.
Oh.
There we go.
Wait, I can't do sideways video?
That works.
Oh, no, I can.
Whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like it's working.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's fine.
Are you able to plug in headphones for that?
Yeah, I'm going to have to plug in headphones.
Yeah, that way it doesn't bleed into your mic when we're talking.
Uh-huh. So let me do that right now.
Okay. While you're doing
Perfect.
that, Pope is gonna kick it off. Okay.
Sorry, buddy.
So Titan, you've been on Titan.
Titan.
All right. Aztec, the only other Titan that in this community that deserves to be known as a Titan. No. Really excited to have you on the show. A diehard Titan like myself, right?
Yeah.
You've been on the show before, and we talked about your videos, but you specialize. Tell us a little about your YouTube channel, and you specialize in these builds and talking to people about different ways they can play their characters. But tell us a little bit about your channel and what kind of content you produce.
I focus around Destiny a bunch, and normally just kind of like dive into builds and different exotics that merge well with different subclasses. Some things that are intentional on Bungie's part and also unintentional. A few bugs in the past that have made for some really cool builds and cool videos. So we usually come up with some really lame names, but I enjoy them. So, and a lot of the people in the community get a kick out of it. And then I play a lot of other games too. So just a variety of first-person shooters and whatever else is hot at the time.
So you
What else are you playing right now?
Do I know?
What else are you playing right now?
Yeah, I picked up Dauntless last week just for a second, just to see what that game was about. I don't know if you guys play Monster Hunter or not, but I put. Yeah, I figured y'all did. I put a lot of hours in Monster Hunter, but I only played it for like 2-3 months. And then Dauntless, I don't know, it's like the free-to-play version of Monster Hunter. But play a little bit of that. I play Splitgate, which is like a Halo Portal hybrid. That one's been pretty hot here lately. And like originally it was called Wormhole last year, but the devs, I think they're like a size of 30, but they've been developing it for the past year. So I checked that one out, and it's looking pretty good too. It just launched last Friday.
Nice. Yeah.
I've seen some really great clips from people playing that. It seems like it's very competitive, or it can be a competitive arena shooter. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
It's really trippy. I mean, it has the same elements that Halo has in terms of like SMGs, assault rifles. Everybody spawns with an assault rifle and a pistol. But where it separates itself is you've got these portals, right? Just like in regular Portals. I never played Portals. I don't know if you guys have played that game or not.
Oh, yeah.
This was my first experience. And my first experience was somebody putting a portal behind me and then putting one in front of him, and he shotgunned me through the portal. And so you kind of put yourself everywhere around the map without actually having to go to those places. And I know like the devs are wanting to make like an esport out of it. We'll see what happens. I think it's a good test to see where people feel in terms of those type of shooters now, arena shooters.
That game is super fun to watch because, like you said, it's a cross between Halo and like Portals or Portal. But what's cool about it is you can be really good at arena shooters, and your aim can be perfect,
right, and suck at it.
Somebody's outthinking you with those portals.
Yeah,
like 3-dimensionally, it's like the difference between chess and like 3D chess. You can be awesome at chess, but 3D chess just adds like another level of thinking to it, where all of a sudden like people can be coming out from anywhere and doing all sorts of like crazy moves. Like they go around a corner and you follow them, but now they're behind you because they lit a portal like before they went around the corner, then went through it when they went around the corner. So now they're following you, and you thought you were following them. It's like really fun to watch.
Yeah, it puts a crazy emphasis on map knowledge, more so than I've seen from like other arena shooter games. Because it's like you don't just see everything on this one axis anymore, just being able to jump around on people. But yeah, it's pretty cool. But Destiny's what we normally main on the channel, especially going into the new season right now. It's looking pretty hot with Season of Opulence.
Yes, it is.
There's a lot of content coming out with Destiny, and your the work you do to put out on your channel. What would someone tune into your channel to watch about Destiny?
Normally I cover a lot of the Sandbox news. Like I always wanted to try to be everything Sandbox related. What's happening, what's changing. There's a lot of people that like take breaks from Destiny, and then when they come back, they want to get brought up to speed. And man, when you take if you take 3 to 4 months off from Destiny, when you come back, there could be so many different changes in terms of how the game plays. And so I like to just kind of bring news, and I've adjusted to that over the past year to kind of keep more people up to date on what's happening with the Sandbox.
That's great. You've got a really great fan base. They're
awesome.
You're super active in your chats. It's your comment section. When we announced that you were coming on the show, it's like you got some catchphrases that everybody loves.
Yeah. Slap that like button, like your mama taught you right. One we've had for a while, and then
so I wanted to catch you on that. Like you got this southern part to your the way you talk, and some of those catchphrases. Is that where you're from?
Yeah, I'm from Louisiana, and that's where, of course, the accent comes from. It throws a lot of people off when they see me, because I guess you don't expect this accent, but But yeah, it's thick down here. Everybody pretty much has it, and even people I know that moved down here from elsewhere, they'll get it before they know it. I mean, it takes a couple months, but that Southern accent lays in on them.
And it's
I got a question for Fran real quick. Are you holding the phone with your hand?
For now, we'll cross the bridge. Let's wait till after the interview to worry about the rest, gentlemen. I don't want to interrupt. It's going to be an infamous episode, though. But you guys, you can hear me fine in here, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm recording
Not
my
cutting out at
podcast audio different. I'm doing everything from monitoring my battery time to my arm strength.
Okay.
So.
Any chance
It's gonna be-
you can put it like on a laptop, angled?
I'm going to. I just don't want to interrupt right now.
Sure.
So let's wait till we get into it.
Okay.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
I did have a very quick question, actually, that I don't know if did you talk about Dauntless yet, Pope?
No, not yet. I was just about to get into that.
it's
Go
on the
ahead.
list.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that was one of my questions. Obviously you're such a huge Destiny gamer across, but it looks like did you get hooked into Dauntless recently, or did you just try it out? What are your feelings on that game so far, especially in the context of a fan of, grind games?
Well, yeah, the developers actually hit me up to hit up like an in-game build. I'm sure they probably hit up some of you guys, but they were hunting for a while to get somebody to play the game before launch. And I was like avoiding it for a long time because I really didn't know what kind of game it was. You know what I mean? Actually, the first time I saw gameplay of it, I thought it was a mobile game. I didn't even realize it was like an actual like on PC or even going to be on consoles. But I finally got to play with it, like an in-game build and mess around with it. And so, yeah, that's when I actually got to play. I played it last week for, I don't know, about 20 hours at most, just to get a feel of the game. And it's, I don't know, what, it hit 6 million players the other day.
Did it really?
I mean,
it was up.
Wow.
It's growing. Yeah, and I think it's a lot to do with the fact, I mean, it's free to play, obviously, that's going to bring in a lot of people, but they launched it on consoles. And I think a lot of people don't realize how many people actually would play it if they launched on consoles.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Well, the crossplay element's one of the biggest things.
Yeah. That's a big one too.
I think we're all excited. That's the fact that if you're on Xbox, I'm on PC, someone's on PlayStation, it's amazing. And it looks like Call of Duty's now going in that direction. So,
oh man,
it's Destiny
announcement.
Sounds like a whole lot of side quest conversation going on in here.
That's true.
On a really juicy Destiny day.
Yeah. Also, if you're interested in that conversation, we do those on Mondays at 1 p.m. Pacific time now for those conversations on SideQuest.
Hit him with that fresh plug.
Boom.
We're focusing on that Destiny talk today. I know we have a lot of stuff to. I'm really excited to hear your take on this Aztec, like your on the season of Opulence and what that's going to look like. It looks like we're going to get a lot of choice for our weapons and what we get. And I'm really interested in hear your thoughts on how, based on the limited information they've given us, what that means for the types of builds and how maybe the game is going to change for us. So I'm really excited to talk to you about that and hear your thoughts on that. So I don't know if you guys want to jump right into it, but we've got lots.
Yeah, we got a big TWAB.
We have a big TWAB.
I got one question actually. How has Season of the Drifter been for you, Aztec?
It's been kind of a process for me because I swapped from consoles to PC.
Oh, okay.
And not even at the beginning of the season, kind of like midway through the season. So I've had a portion of time there where I just had nothing on PC, and I've just been kind of regrinding through everything. But I've kind of avoided Gambit Prime as much as I can. And because I played it a little bit on console, and I was like, all right, well, I started regrinding everything, and I was like, I'm not going to go through Gambit Prime again. But I really like Gambit more.
Reason?
So, I mean, LMGs on PC, I wasn't expecting.
You mean the
that.
scout rifle of Thunderlord?
Oh my God. I can't believe how crazy they are in terms of its range. And I mean, there's just nothing that can really beat it unless you get a sneak snipe on it.
Between Thunderlord and the Hammerhead, it's kind of disgusting.
Hammerhead, for sure.
And then they have the fallen armaments or taken armaments. And it's like, okay, endless heavy.
Yeah. It's pretty much GG.
Did you manage to level up without playing Gambit Prime? Because that's really like Gambit and Gambit Prime are really like where power levels come from. Where
a lot of I did play enough of it just to get gear, but after that I was like, that's that's the extent of it. I'm not going to do any more of it. And I know a lot of people like it. Like I've got friends that just picked up Destiny for the first time, and they're always hitting me up. They're like, "Hey man, you want to hit some Gambit Prime tonight?" And I'm like, "Oh, what are y'all seeing it?" And they're like, "Oh, we love it, man. This is what we play Destiny for." So, it's just not for me, but I know a lot of people really like it.
It's interesting. Yeah. It's very polarizing, like PvP. Some people absolutely love PvP, and other people like are only PvE. Hate players.
It.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's funny seeing that happen to the community where people have these very strong opinions and emotions about it. This season for some people has been the best season ever because they love it. And then
that's true.
For myself, I'm like,
Nem last week. I mean, he's been loving it.
Mm-hmm.
Nem we had on the podcast.
Polar rated me the other day, and she just finished her 51st reset of Gambit.
Woo.
And I was like,
yeah, Polar is like that whole crew, that Last Rites crew is just nuts about Gambit.
All about Gambit.
50 plus resets.
I just got my 21 Ethereum, and after that, I was like, I think I'm going to take a break from Gambit.
So the transition from console to PC, this is the first time then going to the PC for this, right?
Yeah, pretty much. The first time I really actually dedicated time to mouse and keyboard.
Okay, yeah. So you're doing mouse and keyboard.
I wasn't cheating.
Did you not? Were you tempted to plug in a controller and see how that feels?
Yeah, there would be times when a team was just breaking it off in me, and I'd be like, "All right, look, I'm going to put a controller on." But honestly, the result would still be the same. So I was like, you know what? I just got to go ahead and get really good at mouse and keyboard because there's just some insane players here on PC, especially like in comp. Comp was a rude awakening for me on PC side of things. So
and on PC, it doesn't seem like the best players in the world on PC are necessarily all playing mouse and keyboard either.
Yeah.
Some of them do play with
some of them do, yeah. Some of them are phenomenal controller players, and they're able to hang really well, and they definitely utilize weapons that are aided more but by controllers.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. There's definitely a different loadout for a controller than there is.
Yeah.
Any advice for people who are having to be switching?
I talked to Cammy Cakes about it before I did it, or as I was in the transition of it, and he said just go in PvE, play lots of PvE, and just do your practice runs in there. Especially if you come from console and you're like a pretty decent player, and you feel comfortable with yourself, and you think, hey, I can go into comp right now and handle my own. Just don't do it. Just save yourself the stress. Go into PvE for a week or two. Get used to it, and then move up into the quick play and stuff.
Yeah, you got to get comfortable with that stuff before you're suddenly stressed
just
by a player who's doing things that you're not used to in PvP.
Right.
It's mostly the keybinds, right? Like after those 2 weeks or whatever, even a week, you will be used to the keybinds. So at least you're not having to think, oh wait, what was my grenade again?
What do I do? Right.
So then you're just getting used to the actual aiming on mouse against players, but you don't have to worry about all the keybinds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Slightly less stressful.
Yeah. Well, cool. Should we get into the TWAB?
I don't know. There's not really much in there, is there?
Not a whole lot, right? Maybe
I should probably should I try to fix my shaky video while you get into this?
if you want, you could just turn off the camera for now, and then you'll have to pipe
You
up.
sure?
Yeah. That's fine.
You just talk on the phone.
Yeah, it's good.
Talk to us on the phone.
That might be better because hopefully that
God,
doesn't
I love
disappear.
that picture too.
Yeah, it's a great
That is-
picture.
Distracting. That's what I was.
Oh, you're cutting in and out, Fran. All right, let's get into the TWAB.
All right, let's do it. Do you guys want to talk about the season of Opulence reveal stuff, or
you want to go in order?
What we saw. Do we want to do? So we have a few things. How do we want to attack this? We have the TWAB. We have the trailer. We have the news about the Bungie future of Destiny.
Let's do it in the order you just said. How about that?
Okay, so TWAB first.
All right, TWAB first. So in the TWAB, we do have the trailer, the Season of Opulence trailer. We'll talk a little bit about that later. We do also have the roadmap for Season of Opulence. So on June 4th, we're going to get Menagerie and Crown of Sorrow. Do you guys think that the Menagerie is going to open up after players beat the Crown of Sorrow?
I think it's actually going to unlock at the same time, personally, once you do that quest.
I think, yeah.
Right off the
that's
bat?
what I
Yeah.
thought. I thought you do like the introductory quest and then it kind of opens up all the content, which is good because then, players who don't have, access to the raid straight away, they can jump into Menagerie and that has matchmaking. So they'll have some new stuff to do and get in real fast.
Yep.
It's good.
Yeah, and that's the new 6-man activity that we've been kind of wondering about.
Yeah.
It is the Menagerie, and it's going to be match made, but there's going to be a heroic mode that comes out later that isn't going to be match made. So you'll have to get
which is
group
actually
together to do
pretty
it.
exciting because it's like, what is in the match made version, the heroic version that is
Right.
We're getting strobed right now. But
Oh, it's my face.
Fran is currently
it's strobing back and forth right now.
strobe lighting.
That's got to be very distracting. Buddy.
And your audio is cutting in and out too. I don't know. I think something is constantly
it keeps saying
flipping
on the screen
the video
mute
and the
thing
audio.
keeps coming up.
Your mic.
The
Made
mute thing, symbol thing keeps coming up and like constantly just flickering. Oh.
Yeah. So just to let you know, it's still doing it right now. Until you figure out what's going on with that. You might have to leave the call and come
All
back. There we go.
Anyhow, let's keep moving.
Yep.
On June 11th, the new Menagerie boss is going to come out. So apparently there's going to be rotating bosses in Menagerie. And also the Truth Quest. So the rocket launcher from Destiny 1. In case you haven't gotten your fill of Destiny 1 weapons.
D1
in
exotics
2.
coming back. You
There's
got another
plenty
one?
more coming.
We got more on the
Truth is
list.
coming back on June 11th. On June 18th, another new Menagerie boss and the Iron Banner quest. June 25th, the Menagerie Heroic mode. July 2nd, the Lumina quest. A lot of people were thinking this would be the Rose, the precursor to Thorn. So I don't know if it's just called the Lumina quest.
We
or
got
if the
so
gun
much
is
to
gonna be
unpack
called
here,
Lumina.
guys.
Yeah, right?
So much.
July 9th, Tribute Hall and Moments of Triumph. And July 30th, Solstice of Heroes. So that's making a return as well.
Yep. And we better keep them ornaments or I'm going on strike.
Yeah. I don't want to be losing that stuff. Yeah, I don't want it to be not useful. So Menagerie.
Yes.
This is looking really cool because it ties into the TWAB as well. They've got like a chalice that you get. You get to unlock stuff and components and things to be able to...
Tafty, do you know what it is?
What is it?
It's dawning cookies, but with actual loot.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Really what it sounds like. Yes.
I love it. Like the dawning oven where it's the chalice and you're mixing ingredients in there to get the stuff that you want. They gave us in the TWAB one of the ingredients for a sniper rifle with handling masterwork. Yeah. And I was like, this is awesome.
It's the closest thing that they've come to actual forging weapons.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Through a chalice.
I mean, when we saw
the
cookie bakery, like we all said, let's just make this thing like this is great. Keep it going. And they did. And this is really cool. So what you're going to be able to do with this thing is you're going to have the chalice, and then you're going to be able to put different ingredients or runes on your chalice to form different weapons. Looks like you're going to be able to grind those runes from different activities, including strikes, weekly bounties, basically all the stuff that we do already. But now they'll drop runes, whether they're on occasion or every time you complete a strike, who knows. You combine them in different ways, and that'll create guns with different rolls on them. But you can specify exactly the gun and the roll you want once you know the formula.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can specifically say the roll 100%.
I don't think it's the roll. I think it's the masterwork.
Yeah, you can.
And then the weapon you want.
Yeah, you can set up the weapon you want and you can go for the masterwork, but then you still have to go to RNG for the roll, which I personally am okay with, because if you could just go to Reddit and be like, that's what I have to input to get the Outlaw Rampage version of this gun, then it's going to cut a ton of people's grind out of that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Why don't you think it's the roll? Because I really got the impression that it was the roll.
Because they gave us a recipe in the TWAB and it like
yeah.
I don't know if that's just an example or
I got the sense that it was still going to be, because the next sentence after that, Briar, if I remember correctly, it talks about the random roll.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me okay, or is it broken still?
Yeah, we can hear your friend.
Oh, we can hear you.
Yeah, you're not choppy now.
Fingers crossed. Just yell at me if it gets terrible again.
Sounds good.
Hopefully I hear it. Yeah, no, they specifically said if you want to earn a random roll, for the beloved sniper rifle with handling masterwork, handling as the masterwork trait, you would use a rune of jubilation, any red rune, and any purple rune. And then they say this rune configuration is your freebie.
Yeah.
So it's an actual recipe.
Yeah, it's an actual. Yeah.
So they say any red rune, any purple rune. Are you assuming that?
I can answer.
Like, could I use a specific red rune, specific purple rune to get a specific roll?
No. So what they say this specifically is you will still have to grind to get that perfect roll, but we have given you the option to target the item that you want to optimize and the master.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah, we'll have to grind for the perfect.
Yeah, and again, for me, I think is the better situation because if they did have it to where you could just immediately laser in on the perfect roll, then the grind is cut right
Everybody
there.
have god rolls.
How many variations are we talking about here?
Well, it depends on your
By my
different perks
calculations.
are on there.
Well, if we look at the picture of the chalice,
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. It for the audio listeners, it is a cup similar to the one that you shoot out of the Emperor's hand in the beginning of the raid.
Yes, we know what a chalice is. Thank you.
It's
Oh,
it's
wow.
the cup.
Wow.
It's the cup
salty.
that Jesus wouldn't use in Indiana Jones. All right,
No, you'd use a carpenter's cup.
carpenter's
goddammit.
cup, of course.
The cup of a carpenter.
Oh, wow, Brian. Okay. So why don't you describe for our audio listeners what we're looking at?
We're looking at a chalice with different places for runes. There's 3 different spots for runes. You can put runes into it.
Boom, recipe.
Rune.
A red, a purple, and an emerald, it looks like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then, so what got me, so maybe Watts, you were going to answer this before. They say any red rune, any purple rune. That means there's multiple types of runes? Is that what this is getting at?
See, the only thing that I can really figure out is if we're looking at the picture of the chalice and we're looking at the red one, for example, would you say that that is part of the rune compatibility thing? And then if we look at the top, see, I don't think they really match up. So I don't fully understand the image, what it's trying to tell me.
Yeah. Also, we know that you're going to be able to upgrade the chalice itself.
Yes.
You will be.
So
Yeah.
is that?
Well,
Yeah.
one thing I definitely see, Watts, to your point is each one of those is a meter. Because if you look, it's your low compatibility or high compatibility is what it looks like to me. Low rune bonus or high rune bonus. So it looks like the better your combo, it's ranking you on like a general potential. That's right. Because you notice how the icons, they sort of all grow in complexity, don't you think? Or am I making that part up?
I don't. It's
I
tough
tried
to say based on the first look because not being able to like put your cursor over things to see what kind of feedback you get for the info. Like it's just, in my opinion, it's just like the oven where you're going to put specifics in there and it's going to be a recipe that gives you something.
Yeah, maybe it's just the efficiencies of the meter because the bonus is like any 3 different things. There's a skull in there. There's a star. There's a sort of engram bonus. So yeah, maybe it just gives you a general sense of what may happen. Can we back up and say, so you guys are all excited about this versus just getting random rolls out of the Menagerie?
I'm way excited about this.
I like this.
I like control. Some control, even if it's just a little.
Yep.
Yeah, because you get to, if you want to grind one weapon just forever, you can just keep grinding that one weapon and then you'll have the masterwork that you want, but you're just looking for that roll.
Let's say, for instance, the LDR 5001 was your favorite Destiny 1 sniper rifle.
Yeah.
But it's not bedazzled enough for you.
Yeah.
Well, you're in luck.
I'll bedazzle it. I'm fine with that.
Bedazzled.
One thing I want to point out, which is a possibility that makes me extremely excited. There's obviously going to be all these combinations and going to be mystery, just like the puzzles of like the wishing well, trying to figure out the exact combo of things that you need for certain things. I'm willing to bet that there's going to be an exotic quest that gets unlocked from the right runes that you put in this.
Oh, smart. I bet there is. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm calling it now. An exotic quest is going to start from having the right ingredients to put into the chalice.
And we're going to be in the raid when it's found, and then we're going to want to leave.
Well, actually, I think it's going to take full upgrades. Like your chalice is going to have to be a proper, fully raised chalice. Yeah.
That would be cool.
I did want to mention this sniper rifle a little bit more. It's called Beloved, and it's pictured in the TWAB, and it definitely is it's a similar model to the LDR 5001 from Destiny 1, but it does have like purple jewels and some gold filigree on it. But it does make me think of, I can't remember, was it Cosmo or DMG that tweeted out a poll what your favorite sniper rifle scope from Destiny 1 was?
I have a really funny thought about this.
And they
So
didn't even
the
put it on there.
Crucible Pinnacle Sniper has ambush on it. That's been confirmed now.
Yes.
So I was thinking that they already knew that ambush was going to be on the Pinnacle thing, right? So what if DMG put out that tweet to like he expected everyone to say ambush and people get excited and they're like, hey, ambush is on the new sniper. But then everyone replied with short gaze and he was like,
of course it was short gaze.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ambush was the gateway drug, and then short gaze was like, oh, if you want to be sweaty.
Right.
Yeah,
There
that
it
was
is.
the mainline stuff right there.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
was.
That's what every sniper scope you should have been given in D2 was the option of having that that sniper, but then losing some of the stability that came from having a larger.
Well,
Right. They clearly had that line of thinking in Destiny 1 was to try and make snipers a longer range weapon. Like, I think, was it season 3 or year 3 where they really kind of pushed out? They really nerfed snipers hard in year 3.
The minus aim assist on like ambush, and then short gaze gave no aim assist.
Right. And then
for
Destiny
long- well,
2
after
was
that long
clearly
view-
Destiny 2 was a continuation of that thinking where they, again, really wanted to make snipers in Destiny a long range weapon. So they didn't even have those short range sniper scopes.
I do want to point
still
out,
feels
Looks like they
so.
maybe making a return, at least with the ambush.
I do want to point out they said ambush as it's a custom optics version of ambush. So it might actually be short gaze properties with the ambush geometry on top.
Interesting.
Still not going to improve flinch, though, is it?
Well, flinches are
Well, we
it's
can
our
talk
cross
about
to bear.
that sniper when we get there. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true. Yeah.
There's going to be several different ways. Well, there's
You
going to be
wanna talk
several
about
different
the
ways to
updates?
earn the runes. Go ahead, Watts.
Oh, no. If we're talking about that, I was just making sure you knew where you were in the.
Yeah, we talk Menagerie and then the Chalice rewards and all that.
It's upgradable.
And then upgrading it.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. You can upgrade the Chalice itself.
Yeah.
I
You
think
have to choose which upgrade you want to get.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to probably choose the worst one, knowing my usual thing.
Yeah, this is
Oh, yeah, you unlock those slots. That's what it's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you can
There's going to be
there's
variations.
3 choices that you can choose from. And I assume each week you're going to be able to do another one, would be my guess.
Yeah, you
how
get
that
like a
works.
weekly consumable or something that
Yeah.
allows you to unlock it.
So
Is this
the
a count
first
one?
Is what?
Is it going to be account wide as far as like
Yes.
unlocks go?
Yes.
Yes.
Chalice
Oh.
is account wide.
Yeah, they definitely
Which is
said
really
once
Thank God.
you do this quest, that's going to drop right away, and it's going to unlock this Chalice for you, which will then I believe unlock
Gotcha.
Menagerie and unlock the raid.
Because you know what sucks about Reckoning? Is that stupid mod thing
Oh,
that
the
you have to make
synthesizer?
Oh, yeah.
is per character. So if you're grinding Reckoning or if you're grinding Gambit and Reckoning on one character and you get used to doing the tier 3, and then you realize the next character you have to go back to tier 1 and do it like 10
yeah.
times.
Yeah. that's-
Anyhow, that's beside the point. I might be a little
I'm right there myself.
it's a little
Blair.
fresh
Yeah,
in my mind.
Same.
But it's nice that this is character or account wide.
Yeah.
So you upgrade your Chalice using Imperials, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And you can get the Imperials by completing weekly bounties, triumphs, using special consumables, and Chalice upgrades that allow you to earn Imperials through playlist activities.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And then you choose which upgrades you unlock first. So by saying unlock first, does that mean you can unlock all of them?
I think you can only unlock one first, and then my guess is eventually you can have all of them.
But you can choose which one to unlock.
It reminds me a little bit of like when we used to upgrade our weapons. You know, you have to like not in an order, but now you can like pick a slot and
Mhm.
get a upgrade and pick the others. I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that.
So you can unlock additional rune slots to allow more control of an item's specialization. You can upgrade it so you earn more runes or more rune variety, or you can upgrade to allow for additional powerful rewards from the Menagerie.
Yeah, those lines. Do you think they match each one of those? You know, 3. Each segment below, right? It says.
I think so. I think you're on the right track there.
Yeah, because it says what? Additional rune slots allow more control of item specialization. So let's just assume that's the
Yeah, you're
left
right.
one. And then more runes,
Rune bonus.
Right. there
more
in the
rune
middle.
variety. That's the middle.
Yeah.
So variety, that's what you're maybe seeing in the middle is a certain variety.
Yeah.
And then there's a power and efficiency, which does match that last line. additional powerful rewards. I mean, who knows? I'm making it up as I go.
I think that totally makes sense.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
That's very cool.
And then we already read what the sniper was, but they have one last line after that. I don't know if you're still getting there, Briar. I didn't want to step on
we
your
hope
toes.
this gives you a better idea of how you. It's hard for me to read by everybody else's schedule.
I know. I'm sorry. That's what I'm saying. I didn't want to read. I didn't want you to skip.
If somebody wants to read something, that's fine.
No, you're doing great, Brian. We love it.
It was just that they said you will still have to grind to get that perfect roll, but we have given you the option to target the item that you want to optimize and masterwork.
That's amazing. So if you want a hand cannon with range, masterwork, you can go after that, but you're still going to be looking for specific rolls on that.
Yeah.
Do hand
Seems
cannons
that way.
Hand cannons, I don't think actually roll with range on the masterwork. Right?
No, they
some of them can. Like Duke can for sure.
Oh, Duke can?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think it depends.
Yeah.
It depends
Yeah.
on if the Chalice version can actually roll that particular masterwork or not. I love this concept. Like this is so cool because this is like Forge, but with whatever's happening with Menagerie.
Right.
Yeah, I dig
I
it.
keep people invested.
Oh, I guess most of them can. My bad, guys. I was incorrect on that. I was thinking year one.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm excited to try something new. I like a little bit of this control, but this goes, I'd love to play the discussion about like there's so much vocabulary in Destiny as it is. And now it's like yet another thing, all these consumables, do you get them here? Some of that can be fun, but to me, some of it can be off-putting after a while. Like you were saying, even with Reckoning, you hit a point where you're like, wait, like, okay, I got to get this mode for this piece of armor. And it's fun to chase for a while, but I actually, after a while, I get a little tired of how much is required just to say, go in and, try to get a good weapon. Do you think it could potentially be off-putting for, growing, let's say, both keeping and growing the audience? Is it getting too hardcore?
Is the final phase of a season pass about keeping your audience or about growing your audience?
Well, I would hope.
Because I would argue it's about keeping your audience entertained, right? So, like, this is the kind of thing that is really targeted at your hardcore players, right? It's the final phase of a year-long season pass. In September, I wouldn't expect to see high complexity. I'd expect to see another attempt to get more players to join the Destiny community. But now is like a time to really try and please the most hardcore, I would say.
There is quite a
That'd be my strategy.
Economy. There are a lot of different economies. But to Briar's point, I mean, at this point, we're so used to them. Every event, they kind of need to start with every event. They kind of have to have a new playing field, so everybody starts at the same spot. And that kind of begs itself to have a new economy with every event. Otherwise, people would, how many gunsmith bounties do you guys, or gunsmith, parts do you guys have?
I have to delete them now. I don't even.
There's so many. I mean,
turn them into the guy.
I keep all of
them.
I've got nearly 10,000 weapon parts at this point.
So if they tap into any economy that we currently have, there's people like Tefty who have a bazillion of something
just
that are going to break.
I have 10,000 legendary shards doesn't mean you should tailor it around me. Come on now.
Right.
Well, one of the things that's really exciting about this is that there's going to be like a short period in time where nobody knows the formulas. So it's like every time you fill this thing out, it's going to be like a craps roll, right? You're going to be like rolling those dice and, we came up sevens or, oh, damn.
Briar, I hope it has some sort of animation like, where you're playing Breath of the Wild and you're making a meal.
Yeah.
Are you making a loot box joke?
Good sound.
I love it. That's what gets me super excited about this because I could also see like a very like an exotic purple that drops from the raid. I mean, what are these things called again?
Are you kidding me right now? That's an awesome
exotic purple rune that would drop from the raid that would trigger your ability to craft this like very rare and specific like step quest. Like that's what
Reddit's got to work for 48 hours straight to figure out exactly what the rune is.
Yes,
what the combo is.
Actually, Cross, you'd put that image in our shared chat. Is that from the trailer? There's like a bunch of runes.
Yeah, so that's from I think Bungie's homepage when you go to like buy the annual pass. and it shows all those runes. So it's 3 of each color.
Yep.
That's really cool.
Sure does.
Yeah. So
There's got to be. I wonder to speak to Fran's point and Watts's point earlier that, and that Tefty, what you just brought up. So maybe the quality or the quality of the rune that we're going to have to turn in, or it's going to be dependent on the event or whatever activity that we get it from or get it to drop from.
I can totally see that.
And the higher stuff gets higher tier drops.
Just green gambits. No, they're not going to send us a gambit again. Sure
Yeah, so we definitely see green. We see purple. We see red, but then there's also some that are not
the synthesizer motes. You know how you can have like a green, blue, and a purple one.
But there's also 2 that are emerald color, and they look, one looks like grapes or the little purple things from the Emperor's baths, and then the other one looks like the
Are
castle.
we just discovering that Pope is colorblind?
I mean, it's been well known that I'm colorblind.
Okay.
You guys are looking.
Just like
you guys
Holtz.
don't see that?
Super colorblind.
There's 3 green ones, right?
Yeah.
3
green
purple,
ones. Yeah.
3 red, and 3 that are like
Blue?
They're not blue,
Very
are
bluish. They're sort of a teal. They are more
Yeah. They're like a light blue, teal.
little
All
more,
right,
yeah.
whatever.
Like,
I'm colorblind. I apologize.
DCP revelations.
You know what? I don't apologize for
I'm
my
going with-
colorblindness.
Right.
you should not have to.
I'm excited
Thank
about
you.
this Chalice, guys. This
I am
looks so
excited
cool.
about it. I really enjoyed the oven, and this is like, hey, you want actual loot from an oven? Here you go. Here's a chalice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like what I loved about the oven was the
Yeah.
control of that, and I was
And
like, this is actually giving weapons.
Right. And then it kind of has a bit of forge about it as well. 'Cause I'm hoping there's that really cool loop. If you go get runes, put the rune in a chalice, you go forge the weapon. And I loved that gameplay loop of forge.
You have to do the Menagerie to make the Chalice activate,
Yeah.
right? So that would be the loop, right? Like you go to the forge.
But what is the Menagerie?
Okay.
It's a 6-player activity.
Before we get into this, I just
No,
want to mention something that I think we did pass before we got into all of this. And that is that there's going to be a Nessus barge.
Yes.
The new
Oh,
Nessus
yes.
barge.
There is.
So you're going to be able to get a rune from opening up the weekly chests on the new Nessus barge.
I
What's
saw
the
that. Yeah.
Nessus barge? I do not know, but it's new and it's on Nessus.
The Nessus barge is where the Menagerie is.
Is that so? Did you see the press kit where there was like Chalice's golden ship flying over Nessus? It's
Yeah.
probably that.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
You go aboard and you open the chest and
Yeah. You know how like you can go to the Reckoning area in Gambit? I'm assuming it's going to be similar to that.
it's the golden ship.
Yeah, you fly
I wonder
in.
if it's going to be like a public space.
Mm.
Is it going to be a destination?
No,
Like
because it's
a-
match made. It's a match made area.
That's right. Match
but
made
this-
6-player.
Okay. So,
And you can launch it from orbit.
oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not going to be like a, Mercury.
Forge. Yeah.
Open
You can
control
actually
zone.
load in there and travel to it.
Yeah, I like
Controls.
that better. I like the fact that you don't have to necessarily go and travel directly to this like the forges were. As much as I liked the forges, it was kind of annoying to have to.
Yeah, it got old.
Yeah.
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 So it's cool that you can
It's
just
cool
directly select it.
initially. It's cool initially because you're like traveling to a forge, but then it gets old after like the third time. So
Yeah, once
This
you
is a much
discover,
better
like, it's
decision.
cool that you got to discover it, but once you
Yeah.
discover it, let me just fly directly there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
You guys are
so
lazy.
wait, can you clarify that? And again, for everybody listening, yeah, I had a couple things back to back, so I was reading the update sort of live with everyone here. But is there a forge and the Menagerie and the Chalice screen, or is like, so where's the forge? Where do you?
that's the Menagerie.
So you do.
It's all
in other
one.
words, what's the order of operation? So I earn stuff from, say, weekly bounties, and I get a couple weekly chests on the barge. Then what? I put them in the Chalice.
I believe
Yeah.
so. Yeah, you put them in the chalice, and then you can
And
go
then
do the
what do I do?
menagerie. Do the
Then you
menagerie,
do
it
the
activates
menagerie.
it, and you get your loot from that.
That's what, yeah, because it says play Menagerie to earn rewards, but I guess like that's the final step. Probably, maybe we go to the Chalice screen.
You're going to
and
get
survive.
enough of whatever the Menagerie needs for you to fire it up from playing your first quest, the opening quest.
So
I imagine.
the actual order of operations is going to be go see the NPC, go shoot 30 people in the face, then go get 30 auto rifle headshots, then go see the NPC again, then fly to the menagerie, complete one menagerie, then go see your NPC again, then go shoot 60 people in the face.
Thank goodness it seems like it's not going to be this way. Actually, we might have to talk to Benedict a lot for this.
Mm-hmm. You may have to speak to Benedict.
He's going to be the one.
I hope they don't do that thing they did with the Forge, though. It was just too much back and forth. Like, yeah, it's already, in my opinion, it's asking you plenty to already go into the Crucible and go into weeklies because you have to earn this stuff. You got to play the game in general.
Yeah.
In other words, you can't just play the Menagerie seemingly and earn this. It is a concern, though. I would bring it up. Like, why can't I just play Menagerie and earn random rewards out of that and stay there? What if I really like it? It's still an issue I have is that I like that I can go anywhere. That part's good. But in an instance like this, I find they exclude the Menagerie as one of those anywhere. So now I'm like, I just want to raid. And now I can't raid because I got to get stuff for the Menagerie. Sorry, guys. Like, why not open it up completely across everything? It's always this loop.
We don't know for sure if you're not going to get that stuff because you might actually get the ingredients that you need by doing Menagerie.
They don't list it, though. You know?
Well, what it looked like is they wanted to make sure you could do like strikes, PvP, Gambit, Menagerie, do all the stuff in order to get these ingredients to do the Chalice.
Yeah, maybe. And actually, they do say complete weekly bounties. And so, in theory, as long as there's weekly bounties for the Menagerie, then, okay, you'll get some.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I mean, right?
Is the Menagerie.
Do you know what you mean?
Speaking on that, there was a tweet from somebody.
On the Twitterverse?
On the Twitterverse. That's where all the hot takes and awesome info is, on the Twitterverse. And then you describe the Menagerie similarly to an escape room.
Ooh.
Oh, I know. I don't know what that means, but that's what they said.
That piques my interest.
I know.
That it might be some puzzles, open, puzzle, then it spawns enemies, then do another puzzle, and they're probably like randomly generated, maybe. That could be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Or for the week, it's different. Or maybe it's just random, yeah. It could be cool.
I was hoping that it would be a proper 6-player
Horde mode?
Horde mode, yeah.
Well, I think it is that, but just with like maybe hearing that excites you because like you might have to do a couple Leviathan-esque puzzles between, right? Oh, this is the one where you pull the levers, guys. And we got to look at the wall because it's 5-4, 3-2-4, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I
mean, there is an end boss, and it rotates each week, so like it's not going to be an endless horde mode for sure.
They don't like that concept, and I really wish they would give us something. Hey, if you're driving on Interstate 10 from California, sure, you can get off in Arizona if you want. You can get off in Texas, but shit, if you want to keep going, you're going to get all the way to Florida. So I really think that they need to offer.
Florida is a hell of an end boss.
It's true. We've been there. Talk about Orlando.
You've got to face off against Florida Man.
Yeah. Florida Man, and just read the news about Florida Man. I really wish that we had an opportunity to push. I'm a huge Call of Duty Zombies fan. I love that concept, the teamwork that's involved in a true horde mode. They keep tiptoeing around it, and I just feel like they have a chance to drop in it.
And it's got raid light mechanics, right? This could be like kind of a tester. Like, should we be putting matchmaking in the raid? Like, if this goes well, I could see them like expanding on that.
That makes me think that it's not going to have those kind of things. I think it's going to be more like shoot this stuff, stand on some plates, kill the boss.
Some of the most annoying strikes ever have been ones with raid light mechanics, where you get in there with blueberries that you don't know how to do it, and they'll just like hold that ball and run around, and they don't know where to put the ball.
Well, that's why they have a normal match-made one and a heroic that you don't have matchmaking.
Yeah,
that's why I think that they're doing that.
So you think the heroic is going to be harder because of enemies, or you think it's going to be harder because of puzzles?
Because of communication.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I would have assumed enemies, but that's interesting.
I hope not, man. I hope it's not harder because you got more yellow bars in there.
Well, I'm leaning more towards it being like communication mechanics and stuff, just because they clearly wanted to launch with heroic and without a heroic. It wasn't like where we want to add a heroic to this thing that we created. It definitely seems more like they created these two things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see. I'm excited for a new 6-man activity, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But my biggest hope is that they learned from Reckoning, and Reckoning was a cool concept, a cool area that they set up, but extremely boring to do over and over in a PvE setup. And what makes
it's short and it's repetitive, and the game makes you do it multiple times rapidly. Which I think Destiny has a problem with across the board right now. Is the leveling up strategy in Destiny is to do the same fucking thing 4 times, 5 times in a row, and then move on to the next activity and do that 4 or 5 times in a row. Like having just gained like 70 levels on my Titan in the last week, I can tell you that the leveling up, the way you level up in Destiny right now is extremely monotonous.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also extremely penalizing if you get bad RNG, because there's no makeup mechanic for bad RNG. If you get 6 special weapon engrams in a row, it feels like you just wasted 6 hours of your life. And there's no way for you to
feel like it, Briar. You did.
You did. Yeah, you wasted 6 hours of your life. And there's no makeup mechanic for that bad RNG. You can't go run strikes and like get engrams at your current power level. You just have to swallow it and go and do the next thing 4 or 5 times in a row and hope the next power engram isn't a special weapon engram at 693 light.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, the power surge bounties are welcome though, thankfully. Like at reset, at least most people don't have to go through that. But yeah, if you're hardcore, you're definitely feeling the pain. It's unfortunate.
One of the things I really hope they do in September is change the way leveling works. And I think like the basis of it is okay. Like I'm okay with the power engrams being there, but they need a way for you to make up for bad RNG by just playing the game. Like strikes should give you current level, end game, like the chests at the end of strikes should give you current level gear. Crucible rewards should be current level gear, so that if you are getting fucked by these power engrams for hours at a time, at least you can make up for that somewhat. You can fill in the gaps a little bit and make some progress just by playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or they just need a little bit they need both, but I was going to say they need that downside protection. Like, why do they even allow you to get 5 in a row when somewhere in the game it knows you don't need that?
Yeah,
right? That's not your lowest piece of gear. So stop it. It's clearly it knows the numbers. So what I'm saying is they should build it into the AI and the RNG to say, look, we already screwed you twice. Downside protection is active.
Yep.
Now it's going to your other slots. Same thing. Just whittle it down until it gets into the right slot. So worst case, meaning you waste a couple. I don't even want that, but you see my point. It doesn't
I
seem
completely
to have
agree.
protection.
They should be in the system so you don't have like a situation where you get negative, or I mean, you have 5 energy weapons. That's what happened to you, Fran, right? 5 energy weapons in a row.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Even it was like 3 or 4, but even that, like I would say, honestly, after even one dupe, they should strongly consider either increasing the odds or even just heck, why not? Just I'm playing the game, man. Give me the bonus. Okay, you screwed me to the next slot. I'm playing. I don't want to waste power. I don't want to have to go play Reckoning. Necessarily, don't have anything against Reckoning, but you see my point. Like I don't want to have to do stuff when I just put the time in.
Yeah.
So
they honestly,
I think they have a.
I agree.
They have a way of breaking this down. They have a way of making sure that you have, guaranteed drops. They're doing something similar to that with that knockout list on.
No, it's not working, Pope. I literally got 6 energy weapons in a row on my Warlock.
I know what you're talking about. I'm saying that they within this game they have the ability to keep track of those lists and knock stuff out for you, right?
Yeah.
And it's just about them making sure that that's important enough in the grind.
But even then, like my time invested in the Crucible is only honored until I fill out the Crucible engram rewards, right? Like my first game in the Crucible is rewarded with a power engram, and my 5th game is rewarded with a power engram. None of the other games are rewarded with a power engram.
Oh,
If
level
you
ups.
play Calm,
Yeah,
you get a lot.
Comp's pretty good.
Comp level ups
That's true.
changes it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. But I mean, like, I just having like had to really power level for the last week, like it really exposed to me the frustration that is the power engram only leveling system that we have now.
Mm-hmm.
Like it really it makes long stretches of the game really make you feel furious because you've made no progress, even though you've done exactly what the game is asking you to do.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the power engram system so much as the
Fran cut out.
Timing.
How
I
about
think
that
Fran should
timing?
go get some dinner.
Fran, you're cutting out
I'm
again,
going to tell
unfortunately.
you about the secret to the universe, and it's
you can hear me.
Yeah.
You guys want to talk about the Pinnacle weapons?
Yeah. Did we actually hold
Yeah.
on? We didn't finish talking about the list that they showed off. Like, there's a Lumina quest. There's well, actually, I think that's mostly what we didn't talk about. Lumina, right?
yeah.
Okay, go ahead and talk about it.
I mean, do you think it's Rose? Do you think it's going to be a continuation of that storyline? Do you think it's going to be its own?
I kind of mentioned that before. It says the Lumina quest, right?
Mhm.
So is that the
Yeah.
name of the gun or the name of the quest? Everybody's saying it's Rose, but we've heard that before. Everybody thought Malevolence was Rose too.
Yeah.
Well, look at the pedals on it.
The thing is, they called the draw was the last word in Season of the
Yeah.
Forge.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. What do you think? I think it's going to be Rose, personally.
It
don't
looks like rose thorns on it to
Mhm.
me. They
It does,
literally
yeah.
have rose thorns on it.
The butt of the gun, especially, it looks like a rosebud.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
Yeah, it does. I
does
think
look like Rose. Yeah.
There's a lot of people who are like,
I mean-
it's not.
I think
I'm
that's
like-
because people thought guns in the past were Rose and it
Yeah.
wasn't, so they're just like, nah.
There's also
It's
a
Lumina.
lot of people are like, yeah, but Rose became Thorn. We have Thorn right now. And I'm like, well, there's a lot of Thorns in the game. There's a whole bunch of people who have Thorn.
Yeah. Also, space magic.
Space magic. Aztec, what do you think? Do you think it's Rose?
So the other day someone took the image of the other gun, the gun that's like been questionable. I can't track it down right now, but it's the one that looks like just a blue hand cannon. It's
Yeah.
kind of big.
Yeah.
And it was right next to like Kepri Sting and the other exotic. And anyways, they put it side by side between it and Thorn and made comparisons. And there's a lot of people thinking that that's going to be Rose. But this looks like, I mean, the way the hand cannon looks here, Lumina Quest here, I mean, it's pretty enough to be called Rose. I mean, it's a
Clearly,
good looking gun.
right?
So, yeah.
I mean,
So,
I guess it could also kind of work with that theory, right? Where the Lumina quest is taking that standard gun and turning it into Rose. So that could also be possible.
That could be too. Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know.
I like
but
the
it's very
idea of a gun that
interesting.
evolves like that. We haven't seen that in a bit, but
Yeah.
we have seen that in the past where there was two examples of that in Year One Destiny where we had guns that started off as white guns and we moved them up into
Mhm.
the legendary.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very interesting that it's called Lumina because Lumina means light. And then we're bringing truth back, which it all seems to have this theme of
Right.
like, we're the light and we're fighting against this darkness.
Yeah.
mhm.
That was
What do you think about
that
Truth?
was my first exotic.
Yeah.
Truth was your first exotic?
Truth. I
God, that must have
remember.
been so disappointing.
Oh no, dude, that rocket launcher was amazing, man. I don't know. I mean, it could bend around corners. It was crazy. But I
Yeah.
remember seeing it
There's
in
no
the chat
Gallahorn.
saying, "You got, Hope Bear found the truth," and I'm like,
You got the boring
"What's
one.
the truth? What's the truth? I found it."
What do you guys think about another exotic hand cannon coming into the loophole?
I'm personally
Might as well.
happy.
Might as well. More the merrier.
Yeah. The more the merrier.
Just don't make it another 180 and make it feel good on console.
That's the biggest
Yeah.
thing,
I'd
right?
like to see
They make all these exotic hand cannons, and then a lot of them, like the bigger portion
Don't feel as good.
of the population, just can't really use them or doesn't want to use them. Right?
At least it's new.
Yeah, that's true. At least it's new for sure. I mean, Last Word,
A
Thorn,
new 180 hand
Ace of Spades,
cannon.
like we've seen this stuff.
What is it going to do that another one doesn't already do? I mean,
Purify the
gonna-
darkness, Pope.
Yeah, Purify.
Yeah, what about that?
Yeah, it's like good for the lungs. Purifies the air around you. The rosebud, you know.
All right.
Yeah.
Smells nice when you kill somebody.
And he said rosebud. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it looks pretty. I understand the lore, but I'm one of those guys that doesn't really like using hand cannons all that often.
That's because you're on console.
I play on console. I find pulse rifles to be much more enjoyable. I've got bygones. I've got, there's the Forge pulse rifle, the whatever. There's a handful of them that outperform, at least on consoles, hand cannon.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it would have been nice to see some other archetype be lifted up here.
Oh, we did just get a exotic pulse rifle.
The D1 exotic pulse.
We got another one back again. A new
and another one.
Hey, this is one of the things I complained about when Destiny 2 first came out. I was like, "Are you kidding me? Buy a multi-tool."
You were complaining about that like the first time we heard about this.
Yeah.
That's right. I remember.
I'm excited to see a new exotic for sure. Like that's getting me excited. I'm curious about the perk and what it could possibly be, because the way that they redid the Thorn was really awesome. Thorn is surprisingly good in PvE.
Oh, it's true.
Yeah,
it is good.
When that devour's going and you just don't even have to reload as long as you're killing stuff a lot. And I really, really liked it. I finally got that the last week. I was going to hold on to it, but then I decided to go for it and get the Thorn, and it's been fun to use that. But it does make me wonder if it is. So let's say this is a Rose thing, a continuation in the lore or whatever. Do you think this is going to have like some sort of similar effect where it's going to have like light pods?
Maybe it heals you and like with a heal over
heal
time. Dot? Yeah.
Ooh.
From the things that you track that you kill?
You shoot things.
Like maybe when you're like basically leeching health from the enemy that you shoot.
But what if you shoot enemies, right? And the little glow, instead of green, they're white like that, and they could attach and heal your allies. So you could have a close quarters combat person pushing the front, right? And then you could be right behind them, giving them health and helping them weaken and shoot down enemies. This sounds like a cool idea.
It's interesting, yeah. I feel like it's got to do something with health and then also increasing damage as you like maybe get more stacks of rose petals.
Yeah, your damage goes up similar to what's that drifter auto rifle?
Gnawing Hunger?
No,
Breakneck.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that'd be interesting.
That is cool.
Maybe it's not a hand cannon at all. It's an auto rifle that looks like a hand cannon.
Oh. Damn.
How about that?
What's that triple the
Red Death?
But then they turned it into a hand cannon.
Crimson.
Yeah.
Crimson.
Yeah. Anyways, I think it's interesting. I'm excited to see that. So
I mean, all we've got is a model right now. We don't know anything about it. So
true.
Hopefully we'll know soon about it on July 2nd.
There you go. July 2nd is when we'll finally know more. Right.
Before we fully move on, Obisor, who is our mod here at DCP, posted an image in the chat, which appears to show the Menagerie. Now, what's really interesting about this is that it kind of looks like a more simplified version of the Gauntlet in Leviathan. Because you can see that they're all jumping over stuff. There's holes in the floor. There's something they have to go through. And
who's that dude in the middle?
It looks like a statue of.
Oh, it does look like a statue. I was hoping that was going to be a boss. He's holding a sword. He looks.
Maybe he comes to life or something.
Maybe.
That'd be good.
That would be good.
Yeah, that totally does look like.
You are definitely jumping. There is a little, but it looks like a
jumping puzzle.
A gauntlet.
Gauntlet thing.
Yeah.
It looks like the gauntlet.
Right. No warlocks allowed.
Dirty, filthy warlocks.
So I thought that's interesting. That's kind of the first picture I've seen that kind of shows us a little bit more of what it might be. Maybe it is literally raid light mechanics. It's Leviathan raid.
Is this for sure the Menagerie?
I don't think anything's known 100%.
Yeah, the only I mean, that was a part of Leviathan Raid. I'm suddenly
Which
very
chat
scared
was
that
this
it's going to be part of this raid.
I don't think
It
so.
looks very
I
different.
really don't think
It
so.
looks like
It looks a
There's
lot
also
different.
Vex there.
Looks like it's got that public event shield in the
Yeah,
center.
it does have X.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say definitely Menagerie.
Yep.
All right, Pinnacle weapons.
Yeah.
The first one from the Vanguard is going to be the Wendigo GL3. It's an arc adaptive grenade launcher. The unique perk is explosive light. Picking up an orb of light increases the next grenade's blast radius and damage. Unlike most drum grenade launchers, the Wendigo comes with blinding grenades as its magazine option for some added utility to shut down teleporting taken captains or that Cabal gladiator about to get in your face. You can carry up to 6 grenades enhanced by explosive light, so be sure not to let any orbs of light slip through your fingers.
Well.
Shall we turn over to Tefty, our local grenade launcher expert?
I have suddenly grown a very fond affinity for grenade launchers in this game. I don't know, guys. Like, I don't want to cast judgment on this stuff because it could have an insane bonus of damage. You know, like Mountaintop is ridiculous. When I first saw Mountaintop, I was like, why would I use this? And now I'm like, Mountaintop is the best thing ever. I love it. So it's possible that, you know, you chain making orbs and being able to pick them up and get like a 6 stack of those concussion nades that then create like massive damage output. That's definitely possible.
It is possible.
But I'm going to err on the side that it's probably going to be meh. Yeah.
It's rough,
having
right? 'Cause
to
Mountaintop
rely on getting
so
orbs
good.
of light too is kind of.
Well, you can
Well, if it's in-
you can circumvent that though with like the masterwork orbs.
Yeah, that's true.
And with tethers and wells, and you know, you can kind of stack everything up and do boss damage, and then keep going.
Wait, is it? The question is it going to also have like proximity or something like that associated with it?
Or spike for PvE. What's the ratio is what I was wondering. Is it going to be 1 orb of light to 1 grenade?
I believe so.
Or is it going to be 1 to 6?
Sounds like it.
No, it sounds like 1 to 1 and then up to 6 stacked total that are in your reserve.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you guys hear me again?
Yes, we can hear you now, Fran.
Yes.
Yep.
Then I'll say it quick. It almost seems like something good for Gambit and Gambit Prime. Like, I don't know. And PvE. I don't know about anywhere else. They even talked about taking captains and Cabal as the blinding nades, shutting them down.
Mm-hmm. But again,
if you got a team that's just like rolling the other team in PvP, I could see this being like crazy good because you're always going to be picking up orbs of light because your friends are always going to have supers. And then you're going to walk around a corner, blind the enemy team, kill half of them, blind the other half, and then your team is going to come in and just pick up the pieces.
Problem is it's heavy though.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Is it heavy?
Yeah, it's heavy.
Okay.
Yeah. And again, if you're going to rock grenade launchers in a troll sense, Mountaintop Fighting Lion, 100%. That's your option right there.
For the Crucible, we get the Revoker Kinetic Aggressive Sniper Rifle.
Yes, we do.
The Revoker.
Revoker's unique perk is Reversal of Fortune. Missing a shot returns the bullet to the magazine after a short duration. Even the greatest snipers, it is not a perfect sharpshooter, and you miss every shot you don't take. Revoker was built with the mindset that you should always go for it, but keep in mind the Reversal of Fortune can only return a single bullet at a time. Along with its unique perk, this sniper has a custom low-zoom ambush SLH-25 scope and snapshot for those close-quarter battles. Acquiring a Revoker will not require reaching Fabled rank in competitive. Players will need to earn 3,500 total glory points. You do not lose progress when losing a match.
So
before we jump into the gun, that's a big change.
That is a big
Yeah.
change. That's going to be much easier to get.
Yeah, a lot of it's not, you don't have to get 3,500 total because that's obviously above Fabled. But you are just acquiring points. So you could technically stay around, say, the 1,000 rank and just win, lose, and you will eventually get this gun because you've been getting those points. So this definitely opens it up to more people of all skill levels, hopefully going for it, because you don't have to get a high rank. You can literally just, as long as you win sometimes you're going to eventually get it. Because even when you lose, you don't lose your progress.
Yeah, less people spending money to have somebody else go and get this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting a sniper with ambush and snapshot in Destiny 2 definitely feels unique, right? Like this is going to be a unique gun for Destiny 2.
It's pretty exciting because like we said in Destiny 1, they were like, why are you running around trying to no scope and quick scope all these people? Snipers are a long range weapon. And they made them all try and be these slow kind of long range weapons. Whereas this is definitely all about trying to just go for all the shots that you can because you'll get your ammo back. And it's quick and it's snappy and it's short range.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, this thing seems like it's perfectly built for me. I miss sniper rifle shots all the time. And this is just going to be wonderful.
You can only, it's only like one shot and then whatever this duration of cooldown though. So it's not going to be spamming shots, but at least taking a shot, which I like for the same reason, Briar, because you get so nervous about losing your power ammo.
Right. So you get so little. Or
is this energy though?
It's kinetic.
It's kinetic.
Oh, it's kinetic.
That's like a
it's a kinetic aggressive sniper.
So
so it's going to hit hard.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
How do you guys feel?
I was going to say, Cross, do you snipe a lot in the Crucible?
I don't snipe that much. I mean, I dabble a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But, this one might actually get me to pick it up. And not necessarily because of the part. I'm more interested in the custom low zoom ambush scope here. And what they mean by custom, can it handle flinch better? Like, is there something there that allows it to combat that a little better? So, yeah, that's what I'm interested in.
Yeah, same. My only issue with this is like, it's kinetic, and I can't use last word in the sniper. It's
true. Yeah, that breaks that. Right.
You can use Not Forgotten or Lunan or Recluse.
The 150.
Use
Recluse.
Yeah,
that's a good point. Yeah.
Who knows? Wait, where do we know where Lumina is going yet?
Actually, we don't. Right?
No.
That could. It's possible. It could be an energy exotic, which would be that would be a nice round out.
It would be nice, yeah. But this allows you to use all of those. If you're on console, you're going to be very happy because you can use a sniper with all the 180s, basically, because you have so many 180s in that energy slot.
Yeah.
I was going to ask,
Gambit is getting... Go ahead, Fran.
Oh, just really fast on the weapon. How do you feel about it becoming so accessible? Because it's a Pinnacle weapon. Like, I don't have Mountaintop. It's going to be very hard for me to get. The people who have it, I think, are like, oh, this is so rare. Do you feel that's a possible negative?
Is rare?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little more difficult.
Well, if Tefty could get it, now I feel like anybody can get it.
Yeah,
come on, man. I'm setting the bar low here, man.
Do you think that's the perfect phrase? Do you think that it sets the bar low? Because in one way, it's going to bring people in to chase and open it up, which I really like. But on the downside, it feels less exclusive.
I think this is the perfect way to get the population more sparked for more people to go in and attempt it, because I think right now they have a problem with comp. And this is a good step towards making people put their foot into comp and see if they like it or not.
I hope so. Right.
The comp playlist, I don't think, turned out the way that Bungie had hoped it would. And the fact that it's filled with account recovery teams is a big sign of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if this... I think this is I don't know. It doesn't fix the comp scene, or it doesn't fix the comp playlist, but at least like people can get in there and feel like they're making progress.
My biggest issue with this is it doesn't really feel like a perk that's going to make me excited about sniping, because it's like, hey, you missed your shot, then you get another chance at missing your shot. If you don't miss your shot, then you don't get any benefit aside from a low zoom scope with snapshot. Yeah, like it could feel incredible, that sniper, which will make me interested in it, but the perk itself is just going to not reward me for being accurate, which I'm not a fan about.
Which is a bummer, for sure.
Yeah. We don't know how much is in the mag yet at this time, and some other details, right? So it'll be.
I'm assuming for Crucible you're only going to get 2, and again,
still going to get 2 probably.
Yeah.
Oh, good point. It doesn't matter.
And if you hit both your shots, then you have no extra perk. Like, you didn't activate anything.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You're too good.
Yeah. I think you guys hit the nail on the head, which is this is going to do a nice job of, instead of sitting in matchmaking forever in competitive, when people are chasing this, it should be a healthy population, and that's a good step.
I would go after it early, personally.
Let's do another comp stream, guys. It was fun.
I think so. Let's do it.
Absolutely.
I want in this time.
It's got to feel better than my fake Christ file though, because I really like my roll on that gun.
Yeah, I like that gun too.
Like it's got snapshot, it's got outlaw, like it's got a bunch of nice perks on it.
I've been really liking the Gambit sniper. That one's felt really good. I got the curated roll on it, which has snapshot on it. That's all I really want.
Nice.
Yeah, it feels good. It's good feeling sniper.
Nice.
Shall we talk about this other Pinnacle weapon?
Yeah, Gambit. This is Hush. So this is a solar precision combat bow. The unique perk is Archer's Gambit. Hipfire precision hits grant a massive draw speed bonus for a short duration. So,
yes,
hipfire. It's pretty specific.
Yeah.
It's hipfire. Precision hits grant a massive draw speed bonus for a short duration. So theoretically, I could hipfire this, hit somebody in the head, and then immediately follow up with another shot, like real quick, right?
Mm-hmm. And for in particular for me, what I see, assuming you can hear me, is the for Gambit and like Forge, where you're firing off against so many enemies or big PvE rooms. I like that. It would encourage me to maybe use a bow and have some fun, because the bows are just a little too slow still for those situations. Seems like it's addressing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so if the draw speed is massive and it makes a huge difference, as in you hit one person with a headshot from the hip and you can just keep firing off them shots, I think it might be interesting, because then people might play aggressively with a bow and just kind of run around like hitting headshots and hip firing and doing that super fast. But it needs to be a massive increase. It can't just be slightly, it can't be medium, it has to be massive.
It does say massive.
It does say massive, but I need it to be massive, okay?
Yeah.
Because I don't believe because I seen them gloves, all right, where it was gonna make my draw speed faster.
Right. That's
Oath
how I'm
Keeper.
feeling about it.
Oath Keepers, yeah.
Like that type of perk, I'm just kind of like, well, this is the problem though. I've said this before in the past, and then turn around and suddenly this Pinnacle weapon is amazing. So I don't want to just I don't want to shut it down and be like, nah, because it could be an amazing bow.
Right.
Could be.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about how massive is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it going to be just one flat buff? You know, part of me wonders, does it have like a 2-stack or a 3-stack, depending on how much you land?
Good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, for every crit you get from the hip, you know.
Honestly, I'd
so
like
that's
to see it work like Ace of Spades, where if you hit it once, you get like the next 3 shots, just like in the tank are super fast. Yeah, as opposed to like Rampage, where you're on a timer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know what you mean. Where it stays indefinitely till you shoot it out.
That'd be cool.
Oh yeah. Huh.
But I bet it'll be on a timer.
And then, well, that'd be weird, because then you would just walk up, have the instant massive draw speed, and then have the short draw afterward.
Yeah, I think it's gonna have to do like a rhythm type of thing, where you have a window to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's what I think. Hopefully, it can be refreshed though, so you can like get on a roll with it.
Hope so.
Yeah.
Really hope so.
There are going to be some changes to different archetypes of weapons. They mentioned fusion rifles are getting a buff.
Oh, damn it.
Yes, they are.
I mean, come on.
They're getting a damage increase against PvE combatants. This is for non-exotic fusion rifles.
Oh.
High impact increased by 30%, precision increased by 44%, adaptive by 44%, and rapid fire by 47%. So it's just a PvE buff.
That's great. I mean, I feel like every time we've heard about fusion rifles since Destiny 1, there's been a nerf to them. It's
This is going to make Loaded Question just awesome. Loaded Question is already so fun.
About to be nasty.
I love it. And now it's gonna be great. I'm excited.
You like it, Watts? Because I can't get into it. Tell me why you like it.
Explosions.
Yeah,
I know, but I mean,
if
like
it pierces also, if that one hits and it hits like 3 or 4, they all explode.
Like Fatebringer, but in a fusion rifle.
Exactly.
I got it. I just don't use it ever.
It's like, I get what you're saying. It
amazing.
I mean, it feels like there's other guns out there that are more explosion-y than that. And
no, there's not.
I mean,
And it's auto-loading holster, which is nice.
But
So
this
you
is
can-
nice
you can
for
do the
Fusion
explosion,
fans, and
put
like
it
to
away.
your point, you don't feel. Ooh,
I love the cutout.
Fran might have cut out.
Fran cutouts.
Nick has got his work cut out for him this week.
Yes, he does. Nick, I am very sorry.
Because in Fran's audio, he just made an entire cogent point.
Yeah.
And then we just talked over the last half
Yeah,
of the sentence.
Yep. Exactly.
It's gonna be great.
There are the exotic fusion rifles, Telesto, Jotun, Merciless, are getting minor adjustments, but they're minor increases under 5% each.
And this is all for PvE, right?
PvE.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Sturm and Drang, Sturm and Stress Max overcharge rounds increased to 99. Sturm overcharge buff text now displays the number of overcharge rounds, and overcharge damage increases by 100% in PvE.
All right. Serious question, guys.
Yeah.
When was
Okay.
the last time you actually used Sturm and Drang?
Year one.
Not
Probably
that
the
long
first
ago.
6 months or so.
Not
When
long
it
ago.
came
what?
out,
I actually really like Drang.
Yeah, I use it in PvP. Drang is arguably one of the best sidearms in
Wow.
PvP still.
So-
even in tier 1 version.
So you've recently used this? Okay.
Yep.
Especially Drang. I've just used Drang by itself a lot of the time.
Wow.
So it just
Yeah.
feels really good.
Okay. Wait,
Hmm.
actually, what I meant is specifically both of them in combo. So they do the swap together.
They do good, but like Drang, its issue is not a year 2 version of itself. Like to me, it would be great if I could put like a Rampage spec on it, and now you'll be able to do that. And so, but both of them in combination, even in PvP, is really good. This is a really big buff. Like I can imagine myself just clearing out a Forge with just the sidearm, just running around sidearm and everything with like a Rampage spec, and then just getting up to like 99 rounds
Wow.
of Sturm overcharge bullets.
that sounds
So-
awesome.
Yeah, it does sound really good. Yeah.
It does sound really good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's getting bedazzled, so that's exciting.
Good bedazzling.
Now,
I like it.
so is this something that you think those same buffs are going to end up being viable in PvP in any way?
No, I don't see many people going around and just like wiping a team with just Drang. You know, even with it being a year 2 version of itself, using them in combination with each other one after another is what you get the most out of it when you actually get the Sturm overcharge. And you really only need like maybe 1 or 2 bullets of Sturm overcharge for PvP.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Cool.
Swords are getting changed. The ammo capacity for swords is getting increased to a max of 70. Starting ammo increased by 10. The Black Talon ground and aerial projectile ammo costs increased from 3 to 4. So it's actually going to cost more ammo to shoot your aerial projectile and your ground attack.
Mm-hmm.
Adaptive frame swords, ground uppercut ammo costs increased from 3 to 4. Aggressive frame swords now lunge at target with their aerial light attack. Light attack consolidated into a single damage event. Slam attack consolidated into a single damage event. And slam attack ammo costs increased from 3 to 4.
And they nerfed swords without ammo.
Lightweight frame damage tuning. Ground light attack increased by 17%. Aerial light attack increased by 21%. Ground dash attack increased by 87%. Aerial dash attack increased by 78%. No ammo aerial light attack decreased by 49%. All other no ammo attacks decreased by 15%. Ground dash attack ammo costs increased from 2 to 3.
It's a shame. Such a shame.
So
Sword
hilt
hilt's too
tilt.
strong.
I mean,
Tilt.
you can't go out
Been
there and
nerfed.
just things with the hilt.
Yep.
No. As I was reading this, I was reading the top of the list, and I was like, "Oh man, this is gonna be so good." And then I got to those last 2 lines, and it just, it killed off the hype there.
So you have
So I won't be able to
experience with
take
the hilt
advantage of
tilt.
it. Oh yeah. We did a few builds a while back with Striker Sure Hand and like a surrounded spec and surrounded with no ammo, and it was pretty fun. Like in strikes, 2 hidden bosses with it and stuff. but that was already kind of addressed. But as I was reading this specifically for lightweight frames, what's the sword for hunters? What's their like class sword? Yeah, Quick Fang. So somebody actually posted a clip up of them with Quick Fang and no ammo. Y'all probably have seen it, and he's doing like so many attacks, and he's combining the melee buffs from one of the Arc Strider classes, and all of that was stacking, and he was doing massive amounts of damage. But unfortunately, we won't be able to dip in on that really, because it's all about the speed of the attack.
Interesting.
They talk a little bit in the TWAB about raid day and the rewards that you can earn by completing it. World's First obviously gets...
Hold it, Briar. Before you move on, that was the end of the buffs, right?
That was the end.
Now, I just want to throw it out there that they said some buffs were coming, and I'm feeling a little peaked on my buff appetite.
You'll get patch notes, and there'll be many buffs. I'm sure of it. Maybe.
Do you think there's going to be?
I'm going to hold you to that, Watts. Watts promised that there's going to be tons of buffs in the.
She said I was going to get buffed up
last week. I can't remember if it was Cosmo or DMG. It was like there's going to be a lot of buffs, or maybe he didn't say a lot of buffs. I personally took it emotionally.
Pinnacle
just said, yeah, I emotionally took it as lots of buffs because of the nerf apocalypse that had happened the previous week. So
it's not a lot.
Yeah.
Two buffs.
I think we can't expect a ton suddenly happening on raid day. So this is pretty much it, in my opinion.
I'll be honest. I was kind of expecting some Sandbox like super tuning.
That's what I was hoping for. Yeah. They obviously approached trying to make fusion rifles and swords a little bit different, but I was hoping that they would attack some of the other Sandbox types. Changes.
They're like, have you been having a problem with Dawnblade and PvP? How about Sturm and Drang? It's back, baby. That's kind of how I feel about that.
Okay.
Yeah, no scout rifles. They haven't scout rifles are just covering themselves up like the SpongeBob meme of dying in the ditch.
Like the coward weapon that they are.
I want to see some maps for sure. And I was hoping to see maybe a map or two. And I wouldn't even mind some old Destiny 1 maps, maybe some Widow's Court.
Yes.
Something thrown into D2.
Yeah, they were throwing some Destiny 1 maps in with PvP maps as opposed to weapons. I like seeing the old stuff come back.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like Halo. Like whenever you were like Halo 3, the throwback maps, some of them. And of course, keeping like Blood Gulch.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It keeps them. The maps feel fresh when you change the sandbox that they're being played in.
Yeah, for sure.
And it is a little rough to think that they're not addressing PvP for a while. They keep saying that they're trying to. They're planning on it, but it won't be until the summer. Well, that's like, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's close to a year.
Yeah.
Of any changes to PvP.
Yeah, we got a new map after Forsaken before Black Armory, and then that was it for maps. And then the sandbox changes have been extremely minimal. It's basically been adjustments to comp, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
True.
Yeah. There's the season of Opulence. I was hoping that we would get some love. I think I talked about it a while back.
Not at all. Just because
I was hoping we were going to
PvE based. Like this seemed the most PvE based out of all of the expansions because it's like Mystery and Opulence and Chalice and all that kind of stuff. So I haven't expected PvP stuff. I'm expecting some in September. I'm sure we'll talk about the announcements that are coming up and all that stuff. And Bungie at E3 on a panel. But it's kind of just felt like PvP is in a place that they don't really like, and they're trying to make these small little things to do some quality of life stuff, but they really just want to go back and come out strong with hopefully trials coming back.
They're like, man, something's missing. What is that? What's missing, guys? Something's.
This has really been, I'd say, the worst year. Well, year one for Destiny 2, PvP players were really unhappy because of the double primaries.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've got for PvP players in year 2, there's been 0 updates. Like there's no new maps. There's been very few changes.
Like I said, one map and it came from D1.
That came in year 2?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It did during Forsaken.
Yep. It was like October. It was the first Iron Banner.
Yeah.
They brought that map. In fact, I was assuming every Iron Banner they were going to bring a revamped map because I was like, that's a cool
That's what
cadence.
it was looking like, yeah.
Yeah, I'd be like, that'd be fun. Okay, Iron Banner, try out this new map, see how it plays. And then we haven't had any new armor, new weapons, right?
Right.
It's just so weird because PvP for the longest time was really like I came to a expansion, played the story, and then got all the loot. You know, I did like the story stuff and the PvE stuff, and then I would just graduate over to PvP. But the call of PvP just isn't there right now because there's nothing new and there's nothing really going on over there.
So I have the perspective of taking a break from PvP. Like after Forsaken, I stopped playing PvP because I just felt like I was done with it for a while. And just recently coming back and playing it and getting super toxic with a triple nade launcher and having a blast. I've really enjoyed it. Taking the time off was very beneficial for me. I don't now look down the hallway and see somebody hitting me with anything and I immediately get pissed off over them shooting me with guns or anything. Like I'm having fun playing it. But the Sandbox is in a really bad spot for supers right now in quick play specifically. It's just as soon as that 50-point thing hits over and whichever team is up, it's like super, super, super. And like you have 5 deaths in a row that are because of super or heavy. And they need to address that. That really, really, truly needs to get addressed. And
I don't really like playing against teams with grenade launchers either. I'll be honest with you. Like I find it very boring and very tedious to constantly have grenades just ricocheting off of walls and never having gunfights. Like it's just it's not a fun sandbox. It feels a lot like the grenade meta that Destiny 1 wound up in.
Briar, maybe you just need to get good, man. All right, just come to terms with that.
That could be. There's something about weapons that don't force you to take a risk, right? When I can shoot a weapon around a corner, it's the problem I had with what was that spider grenade launcher?
Colony.
Actually, Colony. It was the problem I had with Colony is like if I could shoot that thing down a hallway and I don't even have to put myself at risk in any way to get kills. Like I don't really like those weapons in PvP.
Colony takes skill.
That's the dumbest thing that's ever been said on the show.
Gotta shoot it twice.
We have had some really dumb shit on this show.
Hey, I gotta take the other side of that for all my Colony players out there.
I will quote. We had Bungie developers on the show, and they said that the risk was having to secure the heavy for the Colony.
Thank you.
That was the skill involved with Colonies that you had to go and procure said ammo.
Secure the heavy.
I still think,
and then you're rewarded with kills without having to put yourself at any risk, right?
They also told us,
Briar, you did it.
And then, in addition to that, now that you can have triple grenade launchers, right? Is you can constantly be like banging these things against walls. It's like having all the grenades that you could possibly want.
Well, here's the thing.
It really does. It feels a lot like where Destiny 1 ended up, where like it's just grenade.
Here's the thing, Briar, from experience of using the triple grenade to get the mountaintop done. If you're going against somebody who's extremely aggressive, that you're gonna have to change your play style just straight up. It's not gonna be as effective. In my opinion, the biggest problem right now is the super spam and not being able to shut them down, because you got Dom Blades with straight up plot armor just floating around acting like they're the main hero, can't be killed in it. You got Striker Titan just like killing you. No, straight up. The chances of getting spawn killed
for so long.
You die from the Striker Titan, and then you die again because they just went to the opposite side of the map and killed you.
No, we are not nerfing Titan here.
No,
I don't even. We don't even need. So what I would like is I would like kills to give more super energy. So if someone's popping off, they'll get their super significantly before other people. That kind of spreads it out a little bit. And then I would also like more reliable ways to shut down the supers. Because in D1, like I went and played D1 recently, if you're doing well, you get your super way before everyone else. And then they don't last as long and they're way easier to shut down. So you have to actually use your brain and be like, okay, am I close enough to people, but am I not in danger to pop the super?
It's
and
not
be able
really
to get
my
kills?
strong suit.
I'm not following
Then
you.
maybe you should triple grenade launcher, Briar. And maybe that's what you need.
Look, I hated grenade launchers in Call of Duty. I hate them in this game too. Like I don't like them.
I think that you're right though, Tefty, that supers are in a place right now with, super mods on your armor.
It's running
and
really rampant in quick play right now.
You're getting crazy supers throughout. There's a lot of stuff you can do. I'm sure Cross can tell us like all the whacked out stuff you can do with your armor and how you can go to about getting your super, either to last longer or be more effective. But I mean, I giggle when I'm on my bottom tree Titan with, the insurmountable skull fort and just running through into the spawn, and then I still have my super up and I run to the other side of the spawn and I still have it up and I'm like, yeah.
Dude, who else was laughing hysterically when they saw skull the one-eyed mask and the one-eyed
was on sale.
On sale for
I thought it was gonna get nerfs. I thought it was a day in the TWAB. I was like, here it comes. I'm about to be reading about the
It seems like that was a kiss of death, right? Whenever Sir sold something, like we would hear.
Yeah, that's it. Enjoy it for this last weekend.
Right. I was worried that they were going to hit the mountaintop with that, being like mountaintop.
I don't think they're going to.
I'm surprised.
I don't think they're going to nerf those for a bit.
Yeah.
Honestly, if they ever do, I don't, because you don't have any of the problems of like sitting in the back of the map and being able to just shoot bosses, which is a problem that Whisper had. I know it does a lot of damage. But yeah, I don't think there are major issues for the Sandbox.
I mean, you do have to set yourself up to use it correctly. You got to have a barricade, or you got to have a lunafaction well to do that, to have the optimal DPS with the mountaintop. So it is situational in that, but that kind of DPS with special ammo is addicting.
Yeah, I heard combining that with Anarchy is also really good. Placing Anarchy shots and then swapping over to mountaintop and just burning your mountaintop shots.
Yeah,
that's what Tefty's gonna be doing.
What is this gun you speak of? Yeah, what is this Anarchy gun you speak of?
Little exotic from
I don't know.
storage.
Can't get it.
Nobody in my clan has it.
Oh no, I haven't got any of the exotic grade. Anarchy or Thousand Voices. I've
Strange Pope. Why is that, man?
Well, first of all, you have to play the three. That's part of it. And second of all, I had my RNG is transferred over to Tefty. I officially I'm thinking about taking that emote off of Twitch because it's not me holding the exotic engram anymore. Tefty, it is you.
No, you need to keep it. You need to keep the emote because that was what transferred it. Making it public like that is what makes your RNG go somewhere else. Okay, so keep your emote so I can continue getting exotics, please. Thank you. Please and thank you.
But before we move on, because we were talking about PvP, we do have an Iron Banner quest coming in Season of Opulence. Yeah. So if you look at the roadmap, it's happening on June. Is that 18th? Yeah, June 18th, we have the new Menagerie boss and Iron Banner quest. So that's the first time we've had a quest in Iron Banner, right?
That's cool.
So maybe there's something.
Maybe you get 5,000 kills while you're under level.
5,000 kills.
Do you think that could be setting up another trip to the Iron Tower or wherever
Saladin
that was?
is like,
we're literally,
we've done this before, but I don't remember.
I've seen Tefty saying that we're gonna get a Rise of Iron DLC in September. What if it's literally
Rise of Iron?
Go back, literally Rise of Iron.
Well, did you see the image? Like people blew out the light in that image that they teased for the June 6th announcement, and it looked like a mountain range in the back. Like it looked like a topographical map of a mountain range. I'm not saying
maybe they're just fans of mountaintop. All right.
I'll take another Wrath of the Machine. Yeah,
Wrath was fun. Yeah,
it was a good raid.
It was.
It was a good DLC with Rise Iron.
It really was. Yeah. Not huge, but it wasn't one of the smaller ones. It was kind of right in the middle and brought a lot of really good stuff.
You know what it did, though, is it saw how players like to play the game and just gave us that, I felt like they saw how we like to explore the tower by jumping around in trees and stuff. So they gave us that route to the top of the mountain that you could jump up, right?
Yeah.
You know, they saw how we like to get loot, and it gave us that. It gave us a raid where we're moving around a lot. It felt like it really spoke to how players like to play Destiny.
Yeah, I think we even all said that it kind of seemed like a love letter to Destiny players. It was like, hey, we've kind of been noticing all these little things that you like, and then they gave them to us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'd be lovely to get something like that for Destiny 2.
Yeah.
I mean, let's talk about it. I mean, all we've got is the June 6th date and like a very dim.
Okay. Yeah. With the
there's some so this was real. I think a lot of people were very surprised because they're launching, Season of Opulence.
Yeah.
And then basically 2 days after that, they're like, so let's talk about the future, which is strange, right? I don't think anyone was expecting that.
Well,
and this is sorry, Tefty. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I've been saying that like if they do something around E3, then it's going to be it's going to be juicy. Because no way are they going to do another annual pass at E3. Because if they do an annual pass, people are going to be like, really, Bungie?
But they've done this before and it's not at E3. So I do just sort of expect a nice, stream from them. They've got 2 quiet days before E3. I kind of did expect it.
But it is confirmed that Bungie will be at E3. We don't know how much they're going to be at E3, but we know that they're going to be on a panel at E3 specifically.
Probably just talking about this, though. Like, this is the reveal, and it stays
It's
before
2 different
E3.
dates, though.
Wait, what's the
but that's just a panel, right?
Fran. Oh, I see. Yeah, they're going to do the reveal on 6, and then they're going to talk more about it at E3, right?
On June 11th, which is a Tuesday. Right. So it's specifically called The Future of Bungie and Destiny 2.
That sounds exciting.
Whereas the one on June 6th, it says tune in for the reveal of the next chapter of Destiny 2. So maybe they're going to be revealing some September stuff, and then maybe the panel is going to be them kind of talking about how Bungie's going to go forward as an independent.
Fran, how big do you think September is going to be for Bungie? What type of DLC?
I think we're still in the zone of, season pass type content, but that the big reveal is going to be how they're handling it, like we've been talking about, whether there's free to play elements or that everything's going season pass.
Okay.
Is my audio still working?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Thank God, because this is the thing. I do think June 6th will mark an important date that they're going to come out and talk about their new philosophy, and as we're seeing, they'll expand on that. But yeah, I think we'll get a good glimpse into September. But I don't expect it to be bigger than Forsaken, if big as big.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Aztec, I'm really curious how you feel about this too, because this has been a topic that comes up like usually every other podcast of like what's coming in September. Yeah.
Well, I've wondered, and a lot of people are speculating in the PvP community, is this going to be them talking about trials? Are they going to mention it at all? And then, I've kind of thought about what is Bungie going to do this year for Guardian Con? Last year we had Gambit to play when we went to Guardian Con. Are they going to have something for us to play this year? Is it going to be trials?
They said they're going to be
that
there.
Would bring, yeah, they're going to be there. And that would bring a ton of people to come play.
Wow.
And Borderlands is also going to be there too. So, I mean, I don't think Bungie wants to be showed up at essentially an event that kind of they inspired in a way, with Guardian Con. So I think they're going to bring something juicy to it.
Do you think it's going to be Forsaken sized, or do you think Red Iron sized? What do you think?
No, I'm kind of sticking with Anon the Non on this one. And, I don't know if he's been wrong at all. Like, as far as what
this is the leaks, right?
In terms of leaks.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy who's been dropping leaks. I know he went dark many months ago, but, he said that it was going to be smaller than Forsaken, but bigger than Rise of Iron is kind of what the leak was.
See, if they're talking at E3 and there was a leak from Anon like that, it sounds like it adds up.
I think so. Yeah. And what also is very exciting is that we're now seeing lots of games getting crossplay cross-save.
Yes.
It seems to be happening on kind of a mass scale now that these games are coming out and it's like crossplay cross-save. So what if that's another thing that Bungie's going to talk about, that, hey, we're going to have cross-save?
Wouldn't that be nuts?
That would be a bomb dropping. I mean, it would make Destiny so much easier to play with your friends. When Destiny came out for PC, it did fracture the community quite a bit, right? A lot of people who used to play on Xbox or used to play on PlayStation moved over to the PC, just to get, faster frame rates, which is great, or to play on mouse and keyboard, which is amazing too. Being able to play with your friends, no matter what console they're on, is just, at this point, it's going to be a mandatory feature. Call of Duty is going to have it. Fortnite, you know, like all these games are just gonna like force everybody to adopt this feature. And
how are the consoles going to differentiate themselves from each other in that
exclusives,
Yeah.
power, you know, hardware power.
The fact that most people either can't afford or don't want to play on PC, they just prefer playing on their console. You know, being able
also
to
the
hang
way
out.
they deliver games. I think the Xbox makes a strong selling position with the Game Pass going into the next console generation. Considering that you sign up for Game Pass and you instantly have access to a library of games.
Yeah.
On day one.
I was thinking about this a lot, Briar, based on the announcements that Xbox has been making. I think we may, and I know this is super premature to say this, but I think that we may be seeing a flip over to the similar to what we saw with PlayStation and a lot of people coming over from Xbox to PlayStation when Destiny 1 came out. I think we might be seeing that same flip unless Sony can allow us to do cross play. If cross save
is important.
If cross save is the only option, Briar, I think that a lot of people will start making the move, especially if we get a new game and it's not a continuation of it. I think we're seeing a lot of people jump over to Xbox.
Microsoft has to somehow figure out a way to get some exclusive titles out there.
Yeah, they need some better exclusives.
Because if you can buy a PlayStation and play everything that you can play on Xbox plus all the Sony exclusives, it's hard to buy an Xbox, you know?
True.
Yeah, I mean,
but that's the difference right now. I think the cross play versus cross save is going to be an issue, and if
it's one of many issues, I think. I don't think it's the issue.
Yeah.
For me as a console player that doesn't have a PC or an opportunity to have one here because of whatever requirements.
In your position, I see exactly why it's the most important thing.
And there's a lot of console players out there that don't have
mainly
PC.
plays Destiny. You know, I see why it's your most important feature, but not everybody plays Destiny. You know, everybody has different, wants and needs for a console.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people who would immediately buy extra copies of Destiny because of crossplay or cross save.
For sure, I'm one of them.
Yeah,
I would immediately buy more copies.
That's bad for the industry, in my opinion. We need cross play. That's the most important thing. Cross save's a niche thing. Yeah. I want it, but cross save that's like for us. Like I want to hop over to my Xbox so I can finally play with some people, but and not grind up. But that's not a huge population. Play is important, and right now, 60 versus 30 frames, like it can't, in my opinion, can't be done with the current Destiny. So we're gonna have to wait probably for Destiny 3 or whatever.
And that may be why we're seeing a delay in what they're dropping for PvP, because I believe that if they're trying to do cross play, and they may be challenged with what they're seeing in PvP with those frame differentials.
It is technically different architecture, right? That Vicarious
Not
did?
really. They're all three of the consoles are both PCs.
But didn't Vicarious do some stuff to make it unlocked from the frames? I think it was hinged on the frames and console, and they had to do some magic to make it work. So they had the variable tick rates and unlimited frames and not have it affect gameplay. Yeah, because certain things are tied to 30 FPS on console.
Right, but either way, they need to be able to run at 60, which the engine itself is not. You're not going to get 60 frames out of Destiny on consoles.
Even if they limited crossplay to PvE, though, I'd be incredibly happy.
Yeah, definitely.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I don't see it happening. To your point, it's so complex to think about it. It works across, two different server setups, 160 frames, 130. I don't know, maybe, but seems very unlikely to me.
I think cross save will be fantastic for any game that is as grindy as Destiny, where you work through those 3 characters and you're getting all these different things, and cross save would be pretty big for I know a bunch of people who they want to experience the game on PC, but they don't want to leave their friends, so they could just go on, hop on PC, grind a little bit on their own, then they can take everything that they got from there to console and play with their friends. So
just imagine doing the mountaintop quest on 3 separate accounts.
Yeah, no.
Imagine grinding Gambit.
Imagine being somewhere and them. Imagine being somewhere and having them turn off the lights on you when you got to get going. Fran, I hear that they're probably shutting down over there for you. You got to bounce, but thank you very much for trying your best to be on the show tonight. It's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah,
thank you. I'm going to let you guys carry on without the frustration. I just want to apologize to any of the fans that this was distracting. You guys were awesome. So I'll catch you soon. Have a good rest of the show.
Bye, Fran.
Drive safe, Fran.
Have a good night, man.
Take care, Fran.
Later, Cross. Bye.
All right, smooth transition. There we go.
Cool.
Professional as
Yes.
heck.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's possible that we hear about cross save coming in September. I think it's possible with everything. It's already on the cloud. Our characters are already sitting there on the cloud. We just need the okay from all the.
I really
called
hope
it a long
happens.
time
I
ago.
really do.
I think we're gonna get it at E3.
You think they're going to announce it at E3 and then announce that something's coming?
No,
a DLC to get everybody like riled up to want to jump back in.
I think that's where they're gonna go with it.
I'd be extremely happy with that. I'll be happier with crossplay, but I'd be extremely happy to see cross save.
Yeah, it's because that's the step in the right direction to eventually get crossplay.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and you know, every time something drops on PlayStation or PC for me, I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to use this everywhere, and that kind of puts like a little bit of a damper on my excitement for stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh, I got this cool thing. Oh wait, I'm not gonna be able to use it.
Yeah.
I'm not even only excited about this because of what we do, like streaming, YouTube, and all that. For me, just being able to play on my PC up in the office, or you know what, I don't feel like being like pent up in the office today. I feel like being like part of the family more. So I'm gonna go down to the living room, fire up one of the consoles, lean back on the couch, and you know, grind some patrols or grind Dreaming City. You know, you know, do something like that for a couple hours on the couch on the the big screen TV.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but still feel like I'm making progress toward my account. Like, that's just so much better. I'd love to see the game come to the Switch too, and then I could do it portably.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. I can dream. A man can dream.
A man can dream.
You know what? I was extremely happy to see today in this TWAB.
What's that?
Briar?
The Gambit bounties. If you hold on to the Gambit bounties over the reset, they're going to give out a maximum light level of 700.
Now, specifically,
that's gonna help, Briar.
We knew that powerful rewards. If you hold on to a powerful bounty and you turn that in Opulence, that's not going to give you above 700. But this was a giant kick in the nuts for everybody because people were saving Gambit bounties to get that rank up of Infamy, which would give a powerful
Infamy
reward.
rank up.
But they have said that if you save that and you get Infamy from that, your first Infamy drop is not going to be powerful.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So
they have cut off.
You know what that means, Watts? We don't have to grind Gambit.
I turned in all my
Infamy
bounties
points.
and was able to reset, so I was pretty happy about that.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've still got about 30 games of Gambit I got to play before reset.
Briar, I am close to
30?
my
Holy
very
crap.
first title. The Gambit title. I mean, I'm so
Dredgen?
close to that. Dredgen. I gotta I just have to reset twice.
Well, it's 3x XP right now.
Yeah, triple infamy.
Yeah, it's great.
No, and so what else do I have to do? It's I've got to get one. Actually, no, I'm sorry. For Dredgen, all I have to do the ghost and one piece of warlock armor. So, can you hear my daughter like screaming bloody murder?
Yeah, totally.
Just a little bit.
I like that they are doing some of that stuff. I think it's great. I didn't really stock
This
too
is
many.
the most excited.
What was that?
I was gonna say this is the most excited I've been for PvE for a raid in a really long time because normally when like a new DLC launches, just the stress of having to level up the entire time just to be slightly raid ready. But with it launching on day one the way it is, and then not everyone's going to be able to get advantages from holding and hoarding stuff, I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, same. I'm very, very much so looking forward to this raid. It's going to be fun.
Can we talk a little bit about something that is come up recently on social media that we need to set straight right here and
Look,
right
the
now?
dick pic was sent to my wife. It was private.
No,
I didn't mean for it to go public like that.
Right, that's not what I was going to talk about.
Oh, yeah, me neither. There was no dick pic.
Okay, let's talk about and maybe it's good that Fran had to leave and we didn't have to talk about it with him here, but our boy Fran, a member of this podcast, was assaulted.
Got called out.
He did.
He
Yeah.
got called out and assaulted on Fire Team chat by Destin. They were talking. Let me set the stage and understand. Maybe our listeners can understand why this is such a big issue for us. But Fran was Destin was talking about the upcoming raid. They were highlighting their team that they were going to play, and then Destin out of nowhere just goes, "You know what? I'm glad Fran's not on our team. You know, maybe we have a chance of doing well." Like, smacked him hard, and you know what? I had to.
I think he followed up by saying, like, as long as we beat Fran,
that's it.
Yeah, like that's all I want.
So of course, we had to respond in kind.
Retaliation.
We had to retaliate. We had to throw down the gauntlet, if you will.
Yeah.
You know, the glove is off. We've smacked him across the face, and we said, you know what? You can't talk about our guy like that. And we made it personal. And there's a little bit of a challenge that we threw down. You know, who cares about worlds first? We just want to.
I'd hardly call it a challenge.
I mean, it's an official podcast.
You notice how Pope says we?
Pope just started talking crap immediately, and then
throwing down
on the challenge, and here we are.
Pope's not even raiding with us, and he's saying we.
Hey, we all are in this together, you know. I talk the shit, and then you guys back it up. That's the way it's always been.
Well, I mean, obviously we're gonna beat IGN. That's obvious.
Oh, obvious.
Yeah. But
I
like,
heard they just brought in some ringers that are not a part of this podcast at all.
it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
That's what I heard.
No, so remember last time we played IGN and beat them? Like,
I remember.
We
Played
spanked
them in
them hard.
Crucible, right?
Yeah, we played Crucible, and they brought in some ringers. They brought in some.
Did we play
people
Crucible?
that
I thought we played a raid. Wasn't it the raid?
We did a raid race.
Oh, it was a raid off. That's right.
Yeah, and we beat them.
I'm sorry, you guys got to talk about this because my baby's like screaming.
Yeah, well, I mean, basically, we beat them. Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
What raid was it?
We already know that we're gonna crush him. But I gotta give Destin credit for that video that he posted on Twitter. It was
I'm gonna
one
check
of
it out.
the best trolls I've ever seen in my entire life. On his wedding day, he gets his wife to Tefty, were you able to get the video up?
No, unfortunately not.
No, okay. Well, we'll put a link to it in the description of the video. It was hilarious. Like, he got his wife to say, all I want for our wedding day is for you to beat Fran. And then the joy in Destin's eyes as he said, we're coming for you, Fran. And then under his breath, and DCP.
It was wonderful.
It was an excellently executed video, I gotta say.
It's it's nice to have people, and that's part of what we love about this community is that you know, content creators, you know, clans, we may be competitive in some of these things, but ultimately we're all friends. And I'm excited to watch you guys play their team. But I have a question for you, Briar.
Mm-hmm.
So if Destin, who is a member of the Fire Team chat.
Wait, I thought they kicked him off of that show. Is he still on?
He's still on it. He's still on it.
Do they still make that show?
He's the only member of Fire Team chat on the podcast, on their raid team. Is it really a podcast showdown? Is it
member?
Really IGN?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not, is it?
No,
So
because it wouldn't be fair if people did that, right? If we challenge someone to a showdown and then they were like, all right, I'm just going to go get the best players in the Destiny and I'm just going to beat you.
So
that wouldn't be a podcast.
I would understand if it was like us, right? Where we had the majority of the team is our podcast and then we brought in some trusted friends, right? I could understand that. But, you know, this just doesn't seem, it seems a little fishy. It seems a little bit like he's scared.
So
I watched the video he posted on Twitter. That was not fear in his eyes. That was pure enjoyment.
He knows who he brought in.
Aztec, who do you think is going to win this?
You
I would say probably you guys.
He's just saying.
I got my money on you guys.
Let's-
And on the day, I'll be watching 2 different streams. It'll be whoever's closest to Worlds first, and then it'll be you guys to see if you're actually going to seal the deal. Might even put some money on it.
Let's
be honest here.
Does Destin have mountaintop guys? Probably not, right? Probably not.
I mean, we subbed out Holtzman for Fran. Of course, we're gonna win.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, I mean, let's be honest. We've got the better team. We ranked up. We
Honestly, I have no idea
traded
who
up.
Destin's team is.
Yeah, I have no idea.
He's brought in a clan that knows what they're doing, man. And
he
knows
joined
how
a clan for this?
No, he's in his own clan, and he's got these people that he just looped in.
And
they're all
probably.
He's probably paying them
money, like
Paid-
they're mercenaries.
Paid raid recov.
They're raid
Unbelievable.
mercenaries.
He's getting raid
Yeah,
recov for the
man.
day one raid.
It's not my choice right now, dude.
I mean, so what he did is he went out there and bought his best raid team. And if you got the money and that's what you wanted. Sure. I mean,
All
I'm
right,
not
let's
saying we're
move on
making
here, Pope.
excuses, but
Do we need we got Twitter questions, right?
Yeah, let's do some Twitter questions.
Let's do it.
What do we got? How much time we got here?
We're past 2
45
hours.
minutes? Oh, we're past 2 hours.
Yeah.
We've
All right.
got
We-
rapid fire 5 minutes.
We
ago.
might have to cherry pick.
All right. Hakuna has a question for Aztecross. How are you enjoying the PC versus console gaming? I know you state quite often in videos that Zen moment / stability is essential on consoles. Do you enjoy using keyboard more than controller, or vice versa for gunplay?
Yeah, I definitely enjoy not having to fight my weapon the whole time I'm using it. And even weapons on PC that are kind of garbage rolled, they can still do somewhat good as long as you can just control it. It's just the difference in stability is night and day. Now, a controller in PC still feels very similar to a controller, just the way the weapon feels, the recoil and stuff like that. It's a little more manageable because of field of view and things like that. It's not visibly jumping up in your face and blocking your camera. But yeah, it's nicer for sure.
Yep.
Cell SSX says, with Bungie announcing the next big thing next week, do you think that's a sign of a Taken King style expansion in the fall?
Between Rise of
nice.
Iron and
Right?
Yeah, that's
the 9 said not Taken King, but
Yeah.
bigger than Red Iron.
Yeah, I'm less
Yeah.
curious about the size of the DLC and more curious about what their monetization structure is going to be now that they're not under the thumb of Activision
Right.
anymore.
yeah,
yep.
it's gonna be interesting times.
Yeah. What? Hold on. The thing that I really want to see them do is build on the season concept and finally start introducing world drop refreshes, armor vendor refreshes. Like, these things need to happen in their seasonal refresh. And Test needs to get less love, and the whole sandbox needs to get more love every season. So I hope they learn that lesson from the annual pass and move forward with that knowledge.
I really think if they made it doesn't have to be free to play Destiny. If they did some type of free to play Destiny,
Just a
And
portion,
then-
yeah.
Free vanilla,
just
right?
a portion of it, and then you could buy the season passes. I feel like that would get more players in, and then they
that's a good idea.
eventually make more money
Mhm.
from that because
Get people
people
hooked on it, and then you
Yep.
you give them a sample for free,
I think
and you make them
that's-
pay.
I used to have a business plan like that in my younger days for a different product, though.
You're
Jizzy
ahead of your
Pants
time,
says,
Briar.
Jizzy Pants says, with our vaults being blown up at the beginning of Destiny 2, did it hurt how much people will like grinding knowing our vaults will be blown up again before Destiny 3?
Puts a damper on it, that's for sure.
Yes.
It doesn't for me, honestly. I grind for the stuff that I want to use, and then I enjoy using it. And then if it goes, then I'm like, all right.
But to regrind it again, though,
Yeah.
It's
like
Right.
Ace of Spades is only hot for so long, and then Destiny 3, Ace of Spades, Exotic Quest again. You know,
grinding for the Thorn, the Ace of Spades, the
Last
the
word.
Destiny 1 stuff that I already grinded for, doing it again, it just, I don't know, man. It'd be so much more interesting if it was something brand new.
Mhm.
Solar Phantom says, what would you all like to see from year 3 as a whole?
Trials.
Peace on Earth.
Yes. That's gonna be amazing.
Crossplay.
Trials crossplay be good too.
Ferrari
Crossplay
Fridays.
Crossplay.
Ferrari Fridays would be nice.
Right.
Yeah. Free computers
love
and
for-
GPUs. That'd be nice, right?
I definitely would love to not, and I mean this in the best way, because I love all my PvP and brothers and sisters out there, but I'd like them to get some love so they'd shut the fuck up. I mean, come on! I've been hearing you guys bitch about PvP
when those
for
nerfs
so
came out.
long.
Oh my god, that
Give
drama.
them something. Give them something. Give them some maps. Shake up the sandbox a little bit, and then make them happy. Tickle them a little, so we can shut up for a bit. Thank you.
I would like to see less emphasis on Eververse and more emphasis on world drops, like Tefty was saying before. Like, I feel like
Better seasons.
Just walking around in patrol or doing stuff that doesn't directly involve getting a power drop is not rewarding in the least.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reward for it, and that sucks. S. Sasquatch says, how much do you expect to see or would you like to see from the next chapter reveal June 2nd? Or June 6th, sorry. I'd like to get an inkling of what the story is going to be. And I'd like to know a little bit about what the structure of payment is going to be. Like, how are they going to... Is it going to be an annual pass? Is it going to be... what's going to happen now that they're not under Activision?
Yeah, I think that's what I'm most kind of excited for. I'm of course excited for new content, and I think, like Tefty said, with them announcing stuff before around E3, it kind of does indicate we're getting something nice in September.
Mm-hmm.
But I would love to just see how a Bungie controlled Destiny looks like you said, how the payment's gonna be, how the structure's gonna be. Are they gonna try a sort of free to play thing? Are they what's their plan? So yeah, I would very excited to find out about that.
Okay. I would like to see something on D3. Like, even if it's something just super small. I just want to see something like, what it is exactly they're trying to do at D3, because you hear all the rumors, and I know we got the fall and everything coming up, but I want to see what this new Bungie is working on in the back, and that one's going to be the thing that's going to reflect the biggest on the reputation.
You know what I'd actually like to see is a more communicative Bungie. Now that Bungie doesn't have to work with Activision's press, like, Bungie can just talk to their players. There's nobody telling Bungie not to talk to their players except for Bungie. Yeah, and I'd like to see Bungie be a little more communicative.
Not even, I would like to, so those people, like, I'm sure Derek Carroll got kind of yelled at when he told people to go play Strikes. I would like them to have people like that, because in the Halo days, they used to poke fun at players. They used to always have that kind of relationship with players. And I would love to just have, like, open communication, them just kind of,
Oh, but I don't think they were open in their communication in Halo, though. Watts, do you think that? I mean, they did the weekly updates and stuff like that, but I felt like there was definitely, maybe it's just my position in the community now versus then, but I felt like they they kept us at arm's length.
Have they always been listening?
Halos. No, they weren't even listening in Halo. They were just like, we're Bungie, we're making our game, play it or don't.
Armor lock or not, we don't care.
Right. Like, they don't get the fuck out. We're making the game we want to play. And that was their line. We make the games we want to play. And if you want to play them too, keep playing them. That's great. But I feel like Destiny now sees a much more communicative Bungie, but maybe not compared to what other games do right now, and the level of communication. I think the gaming space has evolved to where players maybe expect more now.
But they've made a live game, and people expect live communication with a live game.
Yeah.
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 So I think it's different in that sense. With Halo, is you play the campaign, then you play multiplayer, and you have the community playlists that would happen in the Forge world and all that, which was fun. But this is definitely a bigger experience, with these live experience, or the quest showing up, Outbreak perfected quests, like those things kind of, they create a different cadence for the communication with the developers.
Yeah.
And the player feedback.
Yeah. I like the tempo that they've been doing, and the reason why I say that, I know this may be a bad comparison, but BioWare with Anthem, would tell us everything they were doing, kind of every twist and turn, and then like some things panned out, and as you know, some things definitely didn't pan out of the roadmap. So like I like that when Bungie actually says something, they follow through with it. So yeah, they may not say something every week, and open communications may not always be there, but at least they stick to what they show us.
That's a good point.
So I was on the BioWare, or I was on the Anthem Reddit the other day, and their players are furious right now because they haven't heard anything from BioWare.
They just had a
BioWare's just shut
just had a
up.
stream the day, I think.
Yeah.
What'd they say?
Just recently.
I don't know if it was good or not. They've taken a lot of. I mean, they were supposed to have Cataclysms drop.
Cataclysm was supposed
this
to be out
month.
in May. Yeah.
Yeah, it was supposed to be out right now, and then it's not. And then the EA panel, they don't even have Anthem on it.
They were supposed to be on it, and then when they posted the highlights of it, or like the main topping points, they weren't listed.
They weren't listed.
Wow.
They got Sims 4 though.
Nice.
So.
Well, thank God. Well, they did have that new
guilty
Jedi
pleasure.
game from Respawn, which I'm really excited to see.
Yeah.
Blue04 says, with the reveal coming up next week, what do you think Bungie is going to do about PlayStation exclusives? Will they end this year or continue the life cycle of Destiny 2?
I sincerely hope that was an Activision thing and they die. No more platform exclusives like that.
No idea.
Reality is
COD's getting crossplay, and PlayStation still gets stuff a week early.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, I hope the new Bungie is like, let's invest in the fans and not in the publishing platform side.
Yeah.
Which creates a lot of like those things hurt the player base. They don't, I feel like it hurts the goodwill of the players when people on Xbox finally get what did they get? Was it Jade Rabbit when D2 came out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a month.
The
Finally got it.
What was that
Finally
sniper?
got it.
Yeah, 2 months after Destiny 2 had come out, they D1 on
D1
Xbox
players
finally
finally got
got Jade Rabbit. I was like, I mean, if you're a fan of the game, that kind of feels like you've been kicked right in the nuts.
Yeah.
I guess it just depends on how much money. I mean, I don't know how much money PlayStation is cutting towards Bungie.
Phil Spencer is a huge Destiny fan.
Yeah.
So it would not surprise me if that deal is dead with Activision going away, which it may not be. PlayStation may still have a deal. The only thing that makes me think that deal may be still in place is that the previous deals that they had with Activision and Call of Duty were 10-year deals. And it would not surprise me if the Destiny deal was a 10-year deal as well. And even if they left Activision, it could be that deal stays in place with the game, right?
But Brian, we didn't see any mention of exclusives coming out in these in this roadmap coming through Season of Opulence, through Drifter, through
That's
Forge.
true.
That would have been tied into there because it would have been part of their branding deal, right? I feel like they've exhausted their
I hope so.
contract.
I hope so.
And
I think
feel
we'll find out. We'll find out for sure. I think in September, right?
If they sell out to a console or another, I think that will be very short-sighted and that's why I feel like when we talked about it earlier, the money is going to come from them producing cross-save because they're going to sell a lot more games when people go to other consoles and other avenues.
I disagree. I think they're immediately going to sign a deal with Microsoft, giving 1 month exclusives on every DLC, and the only way to buy it on PC is off the Epic Store. Use coupon code BriarRabbit on Epic.
Briar, can we get a DCP creator code? You got one recently,
No,
right?
you just use BriarRabbit.
I did. Anytime somebody is a big fan in the Crucible on me, it's just really excited to kill me and show that they're a big fan, I'd say use code TeftyTeft in the Epic Store when you're buying your Fortnite skins. I appreciate it.
Watts, you got an Epic code, right?
No, I haven't done it yet.
Let's do that for
I
you,
will
so
eventually.
we can start pumping. I love that. That's going to be my favorite response when I get hate mail, and it's just be like, make sure to use TeftyTeft in the Epic Store.
Code
Yeah, it's
TeftyTeft in the Epic Store.
Crazy Wolf says, maybe it was answered in previous streams, but at what point in your streaming history did every one of you realize that your created content is going to be a big thing? So basically, when and how did you see a constant increase in your viewer numbers?
That's kind of a tough thing to talk about.
It is hard because also it's not a constant increase, right? You go through like these really big moments and you're like, oh my God. And then you have kind of a lull, and then you have the middle ground, and then you have like your base, and maybe your
Was there a
followers
moment
always
where
kinda
you
go
kind
up.
of decided that, okay, I think I'm going to be able to make this a career?
So for me, I look at it financially. I'm like, if I have made several months of income that can cover my baseline, then I can like judge on whether or not it's a viable career option. But just because you have like, just because I had one good month wouldn't necessarily mean like, oh, well, we're good now, because obviously things change and go so quickly. So I've always based it on like, if 6 months have gone by and there's a consistency with like a guaranteed amount to survive, then doing full time is an option. But that's also because I'm relatively like, I don't want to say the wrong term, but like, you know, like I have an intelligent or perspective on that stuff. You know,
realistic.
Yeah, realistic. Yeah, like that's what I'm trying to say. Realistic perspective on those things.
Yeah, I think you nailed it.
I think a big one is if you get a January paycheck and it pays the bills, you're probably doing okay.
On YouTube, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah,
that's a terrible month, man. It's
really,
so sad.
it's the payment from January, so it would come in like February or March.
Yeah.
But if that one can pay the bills,
there you go. Right.
Then you're probably doing all right.
Yeah.
Because don't base it off your January or your
December. Yeah, don't base it off
paycheck.
December or October or November.
No.
Yeah.
The other thing too is it's tough to talk about those things because I think unless you have literally millions and millions of subscribers on YouTube, I'm pretty sure most content creators aren't thinking about how they've quote
big they are, right?
Yeah, they're not thinking about how big they are, and they're definitely not thinking about how they've arrived or anything like that. Because as you set yourself up to be full time, the workload like increases exponentially. You know.
Yeah, I think that's why it was
people
hard.
are surprised how much work it actually takes on a daily basis.
Yeah.
But I think that's why it's hard to answer that question of like, did you know that you kind of made it? Because I don't think a lot of people ever feel like they've made it unless they're, you know, super crazy famous levels. But we're always feeling like, you know, I could do better. I could do more. And I'm just focusing on working and creating new things and exciting things. And yeah, there was never a point where I was like, all right, I'm famous. Let's go. Easy peasy.
Easy button.
Made it.
An orange bottle with water juice says, for the whole crew, do you guys mind if your foods touch?
Wait. Hold up. Say it one more time.
Do you mind if your foods touch? We live in a pretty
if my mashed potatoes
society nowadays. You know, if
I worked at a restaurant.
If a mama carrot loves a baby broccoli, I think that we can let that happen these days, you know?
And your food is always touched though, so I don't think you got a choice.
Yeah.
You know, every restaurant I worked in, that guy back there, he hadn't washed his hand ever. And he's touching it. And that little bit of parsley on your steak.
Can I get a specific list of which restaurants you've worked in?
It's just a local restaurant.
Blandy McBlanderson says, pick a superpower. All right, there's 3 choices here.
I saw this one.
You can
choice is easy.
Plug in any cable on the first try without looking. You can get a clean break / ghost wipe every time you go to the bathroom.
If you're healthy, that happens.
Or final option, you always fall asleep right away, sleep through the night, and wake up feeling refreshed.
Oh God, obviously that's the one, right?
Right?
Oh, no way. As a hairy man,
No,
the
are
ghost
you
wipe,
kidding me?
guaranteed ghost wipe.
Just
You
eat
fall
better and
asleep
you can
right
do
away,
that. I
sleep
don't
through
get
the night, you're going to die in a fire and never wake up.
No.
Yes.
No. This is just saying that you're well rested.
Yes,
I have
until
never
you're dead.
felt well rested in my entire life. Well, you know what? If I go out with a great sleep, then that's great.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
Fantastic.
I'm gonna go with sleep because that makes all my days like really set up. If I get a good night's rest,
Imagine.
imagine when you travel, you like if the travel like can't sleep.
Oh, that would be nice,
right? And then wait, no, I can immediately sleep. Boom, no problem.
Oh my God! Imagine
there is
how
no
much
amount
more
of space magic
productive.
in the world that allows option C to be a reality. It's simply unattainable.
But that's what I'm saying. Imagine how productive you could be if you actually woke up like, ready to tackle the day.
Exactly.
Every day.
You're gonna eat
I
healthy.
can't even picture it.
You can eat healthy and automatically get those ghost wipes. No problem. Because you're so excited to attack life, you know?
It's not about eating healthy. It's other things. And, I'm just telling you, it's a struggle.
To achieve the
What
ghost
are you
wipe.
doing, Bub?
The ghost wife for hairy man is a mythic animal. It's like a unicorn. It doesn't exist.
No,
but in story.
No, I'm a hairy man.
Okay.
I can confirm.
Have you tried a poop stool?
I'm telling you.
The poop stool is magic.
As a hairy man, I can confirm the ghost wipe does exist.
Rarely.
I think you need to change your diet, Pope.
No, come on, Tefty.
Yeah.
The Mohican 9 says, if your butt was slit horizontally, would it clap when you run? It'd be like applause every time you go for a jog.
Yeah, I think it depends on your underwear.
Yay! You're doing so
I
good.
think it would. I think so.
Doughboy says, so when you're enjoying a shower beer, do you use a koozie?
A jacuzzi?
No, a beer koozie. Like a...
I would go for a jacuzzi. That sounds great.
I don't really have a shower beer often.
Not too often.
I've never had a koozie
if your shower beer is lasting long enough that you need a koozie for it, then you're not doing it right.
I'd haven't had a shower beer.
Briar's looking at questions.
Sorry. I hit the home button on the keyboard, so now I gotta scroll to where I was on the list.
No.
XX420 No Scopes XX says, Briar, I heard you hit 700 on your Titan after being at 630 just a week ago. God damn, that's impressive. You deserve everybody's gratitude and
Hold
respect.
on. Did you say 630 a week ago?
There's nowhere there's that many characters on Twitter, Briar. That is a loaded statement. No one wrote that.
What are you implying?
Nobody wrote that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, Briar, you should have been maintaining your character throughout the season, so you didn't have this problem. Catch up with you, okay?
And I assume that means that Briar is our Titan. So congratulations, Briar. You are
I haven't
our
even
Titan for the raid.
Oh, I got the choice of all three.
At 700?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Good
impressive.
job.
That is impressive.
That is a good job. That is a good job.
I'm impressed, officially.
Whichever is Briar's highest will be his played character. Probably his Titan.
As long as it's not my fucking warlock, because I hate going into raids on
Oh,
my
it's
warlock.
gonna be
I
the
hate
warlock.
doing jumping
Yeah,
puzzles.
I heard you doing warlock main for the raid.
I've been forced by gunpoint to have to go into the raid as a warlock.
The conversation went as so. Tefty, so you're good being the warlock. Yeah, sure.
I don't remember the conversation at all. This is
Oh,
false. This is
I think
slander.
CC Kuhn said, isn't Tefty maining a warlock these days anyway? And everybody said, yeah, I think so. Just don't say anything about it publicly.
This is what I don't even. Am I on the wrong podcast? These people, I can't believe this.
I mean, it's time that we just, it's time that you come out of the darkness, out of the shadows, and start, being honest with your fans and the people. I mean, in yourself.
Pope,
With yourself.
You love warlock.
I don't even know
It's okay.
what you guys are talking about. Listen, I
okay.
may have exploited the empowering rift to get the double kills with Fighting Lion. That may have happened.
Oh no! Oh no!
That may have happened, but I will renounce any kind of connection, brotherhood, whatever you want to call it with the warlocks. I am not a warlock. Not a warlock.
Yeah, right.
Sam asks, You get to ask anyone any question, and they must answer it truthfully. Who is it, and what is the question?
Oh my god.
Sounds deep.
Yeah.
This is getting really deep.
This is a pretty deep question for.
I would ask Jesus. I'd go back in time and ask Jesus.
Time travel.
Jesus, pick a superpower. You can plug in a cable.
Nice. I like it.
Nobody else got an answer?
No, I
that's too
haven't got
deep,
none.
man.
No, I really.
I mean, that's a
Yeah,
that's
that
a
was too
really
good.
big one.
Think about
But
that.
I think there's a lot of people. If this was like any person in history, I think there would be some really big questions I'd like to ask. I mean, I'd have to think about it. But if they had to answer truthfully, I'd like to pick the brain of, like Adolf Hitler or Winston Churchill, and I know this is going the wrong direction, and you're supposed to be funny, but like I'd really like to know some of the decisions that they made and why they made them.
J. Edgar Hoover would be a good one.
Yeah, I mean, there's some people in history that affected millions and millions of lives, and I'd like to know why they did it. So,
All right, last question of the night from Corey. Jelly or jam for peanut butter and jelly? Invalid answers include mayo. What's the difference? Doesn't matter. And lastly, Briar.
Invalid?
Jelly or jam on a PB&J?
Oh, wait. What's going to be the difference between jelly and jam? Just so we fully understand.
You don't know the difference?
Hold on, I'll look it up on Urban Dictionary.
Yeah, what do you qualify as different?
Wait.
Pope?
I have a question for Cross, because we were told that the mayo peanut butter banana sandwich was a Southern delicacy.
Really? Who told you that?
Goose.
I've never had that.
Goose
Our answer.
from Dim told us this.
Oh, well, maybe. I haven't tried it. That sounds pretty awful.
Exactly.
Have y'all tried it since he brought it up to
God
y'all?
no.
God, no.
Jesus.
Yeah,
I'd rather have
that sounds.
Isn't he from Louisiana too, Goose?
He's definitely from the South. Yeah.
I think he's
Yeah,
from
but I
Louisiana.
mean,
South Louisiana?
you go from one like town to the next, and like in the South.
It's a
and-
different.
Yeah. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
it's a-
Alabama.
I'm in North
Louisiana.
Louisiana, and then.
All right. According to the dictionary, jam is fruit preserves spread on many confectionery treats, while jelly is another name for tranquilizer.
Okay. Well, I guess we went with jam.
Guess
I'm
we'll
gonna go
with
jam.
Tranquilizer.
Yeah, I don't think I need
Jam
any
it
tranks
is.
on my PB&J.
No, I think I'm going with that. Let's put the tranquilizer.
Yeah.
on the
Isn't
sandwich.
like jelly and jam
Maybe
like
so.
saying washroom, bathroom, soda, pop?
I don't think it is,
I think-
but I don't
No,
really
there's a
know the
big
difference.
difference.
Pope, what
It's
is it, man? If you
jam.
know what it is, you can say it.
You can say it. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
Grab the microphone. She will not cry. It's fine.
Take it back. That's your microphone. That's your goddamn microphone, Pope Bear. You take that microphone back. You're the man in this family. Who wears the pants in this family, Pope Bear? You do. Take that microphone back.
See, what I can imagine is that jelly is going to be more of a spread, okay, without any like actual
Uh-huh.
chunks of fruit in there.
yeah.
And jam,
It's just sugar and artificial flavors.
yeah, and jam is going to have more chunk to it in preserves of the
No.
actual
Actual
fruit.
fruit in
So
it.
yeah, so that's basically it. The jelly is like strained stuff, and it's clear, and it's
It's been
smooth,
reduced,
and then
reduced
jam,
on a pot, right?
right? And jam has got the chunks in there.
Yeah,
Also, no
I'm going
tranks.
jam.
no tranquilizers yet. I'm still going to go throughout life thinking that they're pretty much the same thing. All right,
All
it's
right.
just chunky or not.
I don't think
chunky.
that's gonna hurt you.
Nah, it's like, is your peanut butter, smooth, creamy, or is it chunky? It's like, it's still peanut butter.
That's a goddamn lie.
It's
Tessie.
still peanut butter.
Oh my god, Tessie,
Extra
you've got some
chunky.
problems. You're starting fights right now.
It's still
In the
peanut
chat.
butter.
Look, people down below are gonna be like having problems.
Smooth peanut butter is peanut butter. Chunky peanut butter is chunky peanut butter.
They're different.
They're different.
They're peanut
They are
butter.
not the same thing.
I have a preference. Don't get me wrong, but I'm still going to call it peanut butter no matter what.
Mm.
If somebody says, "Do you want peanut butter on that?" I am not.
This is
thinking
the
of that.
exactly
I'm
the kind of
nominating
behavior
like
I would
Chucky.
expect out of a warlock
Peanut
man.
butter.
Oh my god! Imagine this. You're going to make a delicious chocolate and peanut butter protein shake. Does it matter if you're putting creamy peanut butter or chunky peanut
yes,
butter
it does.
in your Vitamix, which is going to blend it anyways?
Yes.
No, it doesn't.
Yes,
I still prefer chunky.
They're not the same flavor.
Not the what? Oh, my God. Well, this has been a great show, guys. Episode 1 through...
Well, it was until now, and then you went and ruined it.
My God. That's all the questions, right?
That's it.
All right. We're running 2.5 hours on this show. We did have some technical issues. We apologize about that. Fran had to bounce because what's the place again that he was at, the studio?
Funny or Die? No.
Funny. Kind of funny. That's what it was.
Kind of funny.
Yes.
That was it. Yeah,
The Kind of Funny
My bad.
Studios didn't
I
deliver
wanna
the goods for
hear-
him, unfortunately.
I want to hear Pope's daughter's thoughts on the recent nerfs in Destiny.
Okay.
That sounded like some curse words. Wow.
Some
Just
Savathun
very,
stuff. Oh my gosh. Well, it's been a great show, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Once again, I want to say that the show is brought to you or made possible because of Patreon support. So thank you guys for that. Really appreciate that. If you want to talk to me more, you can talk to me at Teft on Twitter. And also catch my streams, twitch.tv/TeftyTeft. And I have been recently, every now and then, sneaking a secret YouTube video on my channel.
What?
Secret YouTube. Don't tell anybody, okay?
Wow.
Also, I want to plug, once again, SideQuest, which is 1 p.m. Pacific time on Mondays that we're doing, which is
It's gonna
things.
be a good show
Yeah.
next week.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a lot.
This coming Monday is going to be a great show. It's things that are not Destiny that we're talking on there. So, yeah, look for that.
The next couple of shows, actually, the next few shows are bound to be good.
Well, let me talk about it for
pre-E3
a
stuff
second.
is coming up real quick.
Yep.
Then we got E3 proper, and then just like processing E3 after E3 is going to be like, what did you actually see from E3 that really stood out? Like, it's going to be a good set of shows.
Candy
Tune in to
Crush
SideQuest.
3D.
It's in all the same feeds that you get the regular show. You get DCP. I think it's gonna be a good one.
I think having we have Eric's Gaming on, and I'm becoming a huge fan of your show. I mean, I get to watch it, and I'm not on it. She keeps pressing your thing, Watts.
Good. That's what it was there for.
Yeah. So if you hear fart noses in the background, that's my daughter. But literally, SideQuest is so much fun to watch. The format is about an hour. Sometimes it goes over. But they talk about a lot of different games, and it's super interesting for someone like me that's a casual player that doesn't get a chance to delve into all the news about what games are out there or really get to know to play them. It's a way to stay informed with some of my friends that are playing those games, and I get to talk to them and be somewhat articulate about it and talk to them about what they're experiencing. So definitely come and check it out. I mean, the response from the community has been amazing. It's in its third episode, and it's already like tons of people, almost the same amount of people that watch and listen to this show are already.
If you like when
watching it,
DCP talks about other games, this is the show for you.
Yeah.
And it also keeps DCP about Destiny, which
Yeah.
a lot of people are also very appreciative too.
Yep.
So we're having a ton of fun. We're going to start having guests in about a month. We're going to,
We're still feeling it out.
People.
Still feeling it out exactly
Yeah.
what it's
We
going
got
to
some
be.
great
I
shows
enjoyed
planned
SideQuest
ahead. We're going to bring on some really. I'm having fun looking for guests and lining up people, and you're going to really enjoy it. If you get in on this ground floor of people watching and listening to the show, it'll be fun to see what you guys think when I bring in these guests in about a month.
Cool. Who's next?
Oh, and
I'm
this is-
Briar
this-
Rabbit.
Yep. Go.
I'm Briar Rabbit. You can find me editing this video and posting it on YouTube, and losing my respect for Tefty.
Oh my gosh.
Peanut butter.
And this-
Peanut butter.
I am Miss 5000 Watts. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. Just look for Miss 5000 Watts.
And that's it.
Yeah, I'm Aztecross. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube under that name, as well as Instagram. Just recently started that up.
Nice.
Nice.
Do you? Quick question on that. Actually, do you find the content needing to be? Can you piggyback the content easily, or does it vary like specific content?
Yeah. I've been just like cutting up little stream clippets here and there and posting it there, and then like for videos, I'll throw up like maybe a little snippet of one of my videos and put it on there. But I really like it. I didn't realize how many like gamers use Instagram. I'm completely new to Instagram. You know, I never even used it before, so
awesome.
Pretty cool.
Cool.
And this has been Pope Bear. You can follow me on Twitter at Pope Bear, and make sure to follow the podcast at DCP_live and hit on those notifications. We announce anytime the podcast is going live or guests and roadmaps. And, you know, we have side quest on Mondays and this show on Thursdays. And we've got a ton of great stuff coming
up next week, Pope.
Thank you. Because I usually have that really available and right here for me, you know, but I don't have it. Thank you very much.
Keeping you on your toes.
You know, you keep me on my toes. That's good.
Next
I'll bring
week
it
is
up.
Glad.
Yeah, we got Glad next week, right?
It's
That's right.
after
It's the
raid.
Nice.
So I kind of, you know, I'm not saying that Clan Redeem's going to win, but they're going to be up there.
Absolutely.
And so having him on the show directly after that is going to be great. We've also got Dado coming up, and we've got Destiny Fun Police, and we've got tons of great guests. I'm really excited for the rest of this week. I'm having fun planning for July. But just a heads up that I will be on vacation the whole month of July. So if you have any complaints about the podcast, make sure to direct them to @BriarRabbit, the real Briar Rabbit. He'll be the one that's taking in all the comments, complaints.
So I have to talk to Briar about complaining about the show.
Yeah, anything any complaint about anything you have.
What
like
if I
not
have a
even
complaint about Briar?
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be podcast related. If you just have, like, you really don't like the way your burger's tasting right now, just @Briar Rabbit and let him know. He's the complaint department for you.
Okay.
I'm gonna set my email account to auto reply dick pics.
And honestly, if you guys don't follow Aztecross, his content is so infectious. It is. I think that's a good word to use for it. I enjoy it very much. My son and I watch him. He's always got a fun, energetic, positive outlook on the game. He provides really fun and interesting builds on how to play Destiny, and it's fun to, you know, if you feel like the game's getting a little stale and you want to check out something, go check out one of his videos and build one of the builds he's got. And you know, I know he does other stuff, but that's really what drew me in. But thank you very much for coming on, sir. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much. Wonderful. Thank y'all.
It's awesome. That's the show, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you next week. We're going to roll some credits and be back for some sub readouts. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.